We're live. Hey, you guys, happy Friday. I know it's a long weekend for a lot of y'all. I got Keish on the line. I got Bree on the line. We gonna do
Howdy, howdy.
I know
Hey,
we've
y'all.
been missing Fridays. It's been a busy, very busy last 2 months, and this upcoming week it'll be busy too. Hopefully things are kind of calmed down after June 1st. So, yeah, I just want to welcome you guys. How many people in the chat, Bree? I know I put the notification out an hour in advance today, so.
Almost 20 already.
Okay.
They were already sitting waiting.
I know. Oh man, and kind of you guys, we had kind of had a couple minutes before we was talking about, but I think across all three shows, this week should be entitled The Audacity. I mean, there was multiple people on The Young and the Restless. Couple folks on Bold, and there's one person in particular on BTG for me that I'm like, no, she didn't. But anyway, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. So for all the newbies here, and I see all what you call them, Bree, the usual suspects.
The usual suspects. Hi, y'all.
Yeah, all the little fellow soapies. Welcome to Soap Corner Talk, where we're going to recap The Young and the Restless, The Bold and the Beautiful, Beyond the Gates for the week of May 19th through May 23rd. And I don't know about you guys. Keish, is it still cool out there by you?
Yeah, it's tripping. The
I don't
weather
know
is tripping
what's
out here.
going on, but even with some of my team members that's like in the Northeast, they got the same kind of weather. We
Hmm.
didn't have a spring. We had a few good days and the rest of it was trash.
Yeah, my heat has been on for the last few days. That's how cool it's been here. For me, anyway.
Girl, I mean,
Really?
yes, girl,
Hmm.
it up here up in the Midwest, in the Northeast. I don't know about the Northwest, but we last night it was 42 degrees for May.
What?
And it's been like that most of the week. We're not going to get a good 70-degree day for another week here. And we're going into June by then.
I'm so sorry.
I bet you are in Florida.
Well, I would gladly give y'all some of this heat because we definitely don't need it. It's like it was 90 something down here.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, Vicky's in New York. Some of my coworkers are in New York and Pennsylvania and in the upper northeast, like Connecticut and places like that. And they all say it's a chilly 40, 50 degrees. And it's the same thing here. I was like, what is happening? We should have had a string of good weather at least by maybe after Mother's Day. I don't know.
Yeah. Look, I will gladly send heat y'all way. Please. It's going to be a really hot summer down here.
Oh my God. I don't know what's happening. But yeah, I mean, Ohio, you guys are getting any good weather next week?
Let me look real quick because this list literally been gloomy and raining all week here for like maybe the last week and a half. I can't remember the last time I've seen the sunshine.
Well, we finally got sunshine. It's just, well, we finally got sunshine here in Illinois. It's just cold. To me, 40
Yeah.
for late May going into June is just highly unusual.
Oh yeah, for sure. Let's see. Next week we had the high. The highest is going to be 73 Wednesday and Thursday, and then it's 60s the rest of the week.
Yeah.
And then there's like a low of the 40s at night.
Yep. And we supposed to get 3 days of rain like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of next week. And it's supposed to be in the 60s. I'm like, what is happening right now?
Yeah. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
We're getting
I know.
5 days next week of rain.
Yeah, I'm ready to move to Arizona or something. I mean, because at least I know I get a steady stream of warmth. Enjoy
Right.
your Florida weather, Bree.
It's not, I promise you guys, it's not what it's cracked up to be sometimes. Like, yeah, like we have extremely short winters, But when it's hot, and we're about to enter hurricane season next month.
I know. They was talking about it's supposed to be a pretty bad hurricane season this year too.
Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. Yay.
Yay. All right, you guys. So normally we recap The Young and the Restless first, Bold and the Beautiful, Beyond the Gates, and then we have other segments at the end like Flip the Script, Who's Taking Several Seats, Star of the Week, Pickle of the Week, and our Simp Olympics. And somebody finally dropped their award. They're not going to be in that running this week. Surprise. I'm proud of this guy. Let's see. Let's hope it sticks. I don't know for how long.
We should do a counter. We should do a day counter.
Countdown. How long is going to be before this certain someone decide to go back because, they just can't stay away?
Like, I would put a wager on it. Like 2 months tops. But we shall see.
Yeah, we shall see. All right, so we're going to go ahead and jump into this. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button if you have not. Make sure that you follow the other channels, the Y&R Unfiltered and the Shade and the Beautiful. And I know it's been a little probably inconsistent because there's been so much going on. So hopefully everything will settle in place. The spoilers are out. And Carter, yeah, we're going to talk about him on Bold. But, yeah, make sure you follow those other platforms as well. All right, so let's dive into this Young and the Restless thing. We had a lot of moving parts. This whole thing between Nicholas and Sharon. We had Michael quit on Victor. We had the audacity of Abby and Devon confronting Amanda. We got Kyle second guessing whether he is worthy to go through all this drama with, Claire trying to prove stuff to her grandfather. It was a lot going on. There was some moments like that. What was that Thursday episode where they had the three couples? That was so boring to me.
I didn't even watch it. It was Wednesday. I was cleaning up when that was happening.
It was so boring. I'm like, what were they thinking? I mean, I know they tried to be romantic. You had Victor and Nikki. You had, was it Jack and Diane?
Yeah, Jack and Diane, and then Lauren and Michael.
And I'm like, this is what we're doing. I think the only interesting part was,
the last 5 minutes.
Right, Lauren holding Michael accountable to this whole thing and telling him to quit. But the rest of that episode was, as you would call it, Brie, a filler episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so what y'all want to talk about first? Maybe we can get something small out the way. Let's get that whole thing with Nick and Sharon out the way. What did y'all think about that whole thing with those two? I mean, do you think they're going to bring them two back together, or is just Nick just in denial, or what?
I don't, that man is not in denial at all. Someone messed with this woman's meds or something. She's spacing out. Like, they just had an agreement for them to be friends. And she's acting like a jealous girlfriend again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand why they keep going back to this with Sharon and Nick. I feel like this is the third or fourth time in the last maybe 2 years that they've had Sharon having these feelings for Nick, and Nick is basically like, we're just friends. Like, he's not interested. And they don't go anywhere with it. So I don't get it. It's almost like, if I was a Schick fan, I would be very annoyed because they keep like dangling that carrot in front of the Schick fandom as if something may happen between them, and then they yank it back. And I don't understand why they keep doing this. Like, either put them back together or leave it alone.
Right.
stop circling back to the same scenario with these two.
Yeah, I don't like you say they keep teasing it. And it's like, why? Either you're gonna put these two back together, or you're not, and you're just gonna, And like one of y'all just said, why are they still having Sharon acting loopy?
Right. It's like her meds are off or something. I don't know.
It's just weird. It's almost like Sharon Case hasn't switched out of that old storyline or something. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
just weird.
Yeah, because even Nick was looking at her like when she was interrogating Phyllis when they were standing in the park
Mm-hmm.
about what her and Nick were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Like even Nick was looking at her like, "Are you okay? Like
Right.
what's going on here?"
Because she kept acting jealous or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just weird. My thing is, why bring these two together in that whole nightmare with Alan Laurent or Martin or both? And you have them become friends only for Sharon to try to play jealousy games with Phyllis. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Kind of like we're going to talk about with Bold. That whole thing with the takeover was a waste, and then all of a sudden, Steffi and Hope is singing Kumbaya. I don't know. It's just weird.
I'm so annoyed by that, but I'm glad that Phyllis isn't giving in to Sharon's jealousy. That I was so proud of her from last
Right.
week.
Mm-hmm.
But just the fact that Sharon says you don't need to keep saving Phyllis, and you don't need to go back with her. Like you just have this need to want to put your cape on for somebody. I'm like, you would know, wouldn't you?
Exactly. Because he's been saving you for the past year and a half. So
longer, several occasions, the Cameron Kirsten thing, and the whole situation with Heather, and now the Alan, whatever, Laurent or whoever.
Mm-hmm.
All he does is save you. Why are you so jealous that he can spread his cape elsewhere and go save other people?
Right.
Like, I'm pretty sure she'll get herself into another crisis if he'll put on his cape. Just be patient, sweetie.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I was thinking about.
I totally agree. I mean, yeah, leave her alone. You always got to save somebody. I'm like, girl, again, I'm going to call out the audacity for you to even say something like that. Really? Make that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, what also is an interesting storyline, well, it's kind of stupid to me because they had Cole coughing up lungs, isolating himself, and now he's okay, and she asked him to move in. What was that all about? People actually thought that they might be ending his character. That's how bad that looked a few weeks ago. And now all of a sudden, oh, I'm doing so much better. And Victoria's like, why don't you come move in with us? Can anybody make sense of any of that? The way they wrote that, it doesn't make sense to me.
I wonder if maybe they'll circle back around to it. Maybe this is just like the beginning of a possible illness, and so they're dropping some little hints there, and then maybe later on something else will develop, and then he'll start getting worse. So maybe they're not doing that thing where out of nowhere somebody gets sick, and then in a week's time, like someone else on another soap, suddenly they have a death sentence.
Right.
Which is funny. Like, side story, I've been watching that show, The Neighbors, which is an Australian show. And one of their main characters on there, that's what they did. It was like, and I'm not sure of the real time span because it's like back to back shows, 24/7. But they had the character start out where he just had like a little cough, and then it was like many episodes later before more things started to develop, and then many episodes later before things started getting worse. So it was like they built up his illness storyline. It wasn't something that happened in like 2 weeks or a month. It was like over months of episodes. So maybe that's what they're trying to do.
I guess. I don't know. Maybe like you say, they probably will circle back around to it and it's something worse than what it is. Maybe he's just healthy moment for now, and then something strike back later. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I mean, they had this man instantly coming back from his road trip or whatever, and then he started coughing, and then go gravely ill with the fever. He could barely walk out the door, and then we didn't see him for a couple weeks because he was in isolation in the GCAC. And then now, oh, I'm doing better. I'm like, okay, what was wrong with you? And then they call it a bad flu. So, I don't know. But what do y'all think of? Okay, so let me just say this. Right now, it seems like Y&R have some of the most boring couples going right now. Victoria and Cole is snooze fest. Billy and Sally is snooze fest. I'm not interested in Chelsea and Adam. Lily is annoying me having, well, no, Damien is choosing to jump through hoops for her.
Mm-hmm.
And Michael finally got a backbone, but Lauren pretty much threatened him or else. So, I mean, what do y'all think about there's no hot couples on this show?
No, and I was going to mention Audra and Nate, but she don't care about her relationship at all. She will gladly gamble everything that she has for a job.
Mm-hmm.
I don't actually mind Billy and Sally. Like I don't know. I guess it's just kind of like I don't hate them, but it's not. If I had to pick a couple to watch, it would probably be them.
Really? I mean,
Or
every
Nate
time
or Nate and Audra.
Yeah, but now that girl is just lying through gaslighting the
Yeah.
mess out of
She
Nate.
being stupid for sure.
Yeah, but I don't know. Every time I see a scene in that new house with Billy and Sally, I just tune out. I just zone out. It's just not. Yeah, it's just not there for me. I mean, when she originally came on the scene and they did the Adam and Sally thing back in 22, okay, they were hot together. I just think
Yeah.
it's a lot of missed opportunities. We've been speaking on this for about 3 years or more. Put Audra with Adam.
Yeah, they broke our hearts with that. They just completely ignored it. She could have been and had a job, and she likes being underneath the Newman fold. She would have followed Victor's orders better than Chelsea would, but they gave us what they gave us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jenna is in the chat. She said Billy and Sally are just no chemistry, and I can't stand Audra with Nate.
I just keep forgetting about Billy and Sally. Like when they're on screen, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, they're a couple. Like it's like that, and it's no shade whatsoever to the actors. The character, I just don't care for it. Even what they've been paired together with since last year.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
Even
I still don't care for it.
I just think Billy and Victoria, whether it was Jason Thompson or Billy Miller, may he rest in peace, the two of them always had a good chemistry with Amelia Heinley.
Yes.
And so I considered them a hot couple. You know what I mean? Now, somebody, who was that? Gail said, did we forget about Kyle and Claire? That's a whole nother topic for this week.
And they're not even a hot couple. They're
becoming annoying, especially Claire.
Yeah. Yeah.
She been
Devon and Abby.
Well, we don't get to see much of Abby because Melissa is on recurring, so she only pops in every now and then.
See, we're struggling to find a hot couple on this show.
There is none.
Like, we're struggling. I'm really trying to think. I'm like, no. And Victoria doesn't care about Cole at all. That was what else I was about to say.
I don't know. I mean, J. Eddie Peck and Amelia Heinley was originally, but that was 25, 26 years ago. And was Heather Tom with him at the time? Or was it Amelia?
But in all honesty, Cole had better chemistry with Ashley.
I agree with that.
I'm surprised Eileen hasn't come back so they can kind of circle around and be a couple again, because I feel like that fits way better
Well,
to
she'll be
me.
back next week.
Okay,
Well,
there we go.
the show clearly wasn't interested in it because they had a couple of scenes together
Right.
when she was on.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even think they were thinking about putting those two together.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just better than Victoria and Cole. And like I said, it's no shade to the actors. It's just a character pairing. I don't understand it. And like, it's just a lot of random occurrences with Victoria and Cole. I mean, this man was coughing up a lung and he had to be quarantined. If it was anybody else that she was actually interested in, she would have called her team of doctors. She would have had like ETA on what's going on. She was like, "Oh, I'll go check on him. I'll get an ETA on him, and he'll let me know how he's feeling."
I just don't.
She doesn't care about this man.
You know what? But I just don't see the spark between those two. Go ahead, Keish.
I was just gonna say I'm assuming they did that because they weren't portraying it as something serious. Like if they thought he just had the flu, she's not gonna. That would be overkill. Her calling in a team of doctors.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they were playing down how ill he might be.
Mm-hmm.
That way, like I didn't take that as she doesn't care about him because she didn't have a group of doctors in this hospital room taking care of him. But I agree with you guys. Whereas I don't see, in my opinion, I don't see the chemistry between those two actors.
Mm-mm.
He to me looks like. I don't mean to sound. What'd you say?
Shaggy.
She said Shaggy.
He doesn't look like her peer to me. If that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
And I think wait.
Okay, wait a minute.
They dress him.
Keish, kind of elaborate on that, Keish. What do you mean by peer?
So I think it's the way they dress him, because when he was in that suit, when they did the whole 50th anniversary thing, they had that ball or party or whatever it was that they had, and everybody was dressed up. When he was dressed up in that suit and that tux or whatever it was he was wearing, I remember thinking like, oh, he actually looks really good right here. He doesn't, look like somebody's grandpa that's about to go, take their grandkids on a bike ride or something like that.
So do you think he looks a little lot older than Victoria?
Yes.
Okay.
That's why.
And I think the way they dress him has a lot to do with that, because I noticed that it changes with what he has on.
Okay.
That's why I feel like he and Ashley would be a better fit. And the thing is, both actors have great chemistry too. Mm-hmm. Even when you see flashbacks of the two of them together, it just fits to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Alrighty.
I agree with that, y'all.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
I was catching up with the chat. They were saying that maybe Cole was poisoned by Claire. I don't think it's Claire. I think maybe Jordan might still be alive, but that's just my thought.
Okay.
We didn't see a body.
They did this to redeem Claire, so I don't think they would have her do that either.
Yeah, I can't see that much.
If Jordan's alive, and we know Ian's alive,
right?
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I agree. That kind of takes us to, well, first of all, let me see. That's the 19th to 20th, Tuesday, Monday. So we also got to kind of backtrack where Amanda comes into town, and Phyllis want her to go back and help her start a business and to go tell Dumas to get her some money. I'm like, girl.
She doesn't have a business plan. She doesn't know what her business idea is. She's just throwing stuff in the air just so she can sit in front of this man. And I'm like, you're going to pitch what to him? Which is exactly what Amanda was like. You don't even know what you want to say to this man. You don't know what you're going to ask this man for. You're asking for money, but for what?
Mm-hmm.
And she looked really stupid in front of Victor. And the thing is, if you're going to an investor, you got to come prepared. Say, hey, this is my business. This is my idea. I need the funding for from A to Z. This is the revenue map for what I want to try to accomplish. Just different things. And she's just showing up empty-handed, crying, saying, like, I need to find a job for me and my son. Girl, work on a business plan first.
Exactly.
Walk.
She's talking about
and she knows better than that. It's not like Phyllis has never been a business owner before, so I don't know why she took her old goofy self in front of Victor with no plan. And Victor was like, was it Victor or was it Amanda that said, come back to me when you know what you're doing?
But I mean, she pitched to both of them. I mean, and Amanda said, well, she tried to ask, but he was like, no. You know, and I mean, I'm surprised Michelle Stafford even is dealing with this type of scripting. They got her all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
With no direction. They're making her look like an overbearing mother, trying to cradle her overly grown son, and he has almost a grown daughter himself. And I'm like, you can't think for yourself. You can't get a job for yourself. You got a hotel once before by yourself without your son.
She was that whole scene with Daniel pissed me off because Daniel is telling her, this isn't what I need right now. Like, I'm not ready to do this. I'm not ready to do this yet. This is what I want to do. Like, I want to take some time for myself. I need to figure things out, with my life or whatever. I'm still healing from Heather. And all this woman is thinking about is, but I need to do this. This is what I need, and I need you to do it with me. And it's like, how selfish is that? And Daniel was even saying to her, like, you're not gonna let this go, are you? You're just gonna sit here and you're gonna badger me until I give in and say yes. And she is pretty much like, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm like, how selfish is that? Very selfish and self-serving that you sat there and basically bullied your son into doing what you wanted him to do for yourself, not for him, but for you.
Yeah, I hate that they wrote this pathway for her to sell her business, which is the Grand Phoenix, only to go work at Jabot in order to keep an eye on Diane, where Jack married Diane anyway. You end up out of a job. You tried to set her up, and that didn't work for poisoning you. And then now we're going down this whole trail. You threw her in this situation with Sharon and all of this. It's just she has nothing right now.
At least ain't been the same since Diane been in town.
Exactly. At least with Hope Logan, she was only out of a job for a month.
Well, yeah, we knew that was going.
Exactly. So why wouldn't you write a legacy character like her? This girl been on this show off and on for the past 30 years?
30 years. She had her anniversary last year.
Yeah, in September. Her and Sharon Case. 30 years, and you can't give her some type of solid something?
Right. It's a disservice to this actress because Michelle Stafford, she can act like nobody's business. There's a reason why this woman wins her Emmys. And they could have wrote a storyline to where she actually gets the information that nobody's able to get because she's a tech savvy, tech guru type of person. Mm-hmm. She could have gotten all the details about Aerosol de Mine and sell it to the highest bidder.
Well, let me ask you this. Remember that tech company that Cameron Kirsten left behind? I could see her running that company over Sharon.
Yes. Why don't they work together? I'm like, they did this kumbaya, and like, why doesn't Sharon offer a job over at her tech company?
Or just sell it to Phyllis.
Right.
Because we've never seen Sharon really work for that company or work at that company.
No, Mariah's doing all the work.
Yeah, so just sell it to Phyllis, because we still see Sharon in the coffee house, and let that be Phyllis's story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But what's going to end up happening is Nick's probably going to put his cape on and invest in whatever foolishness Phyllis has going on. But Josh Griffin, like if you guys are listening, it would have been better of a storyline for her to get the information that everybody else wants to get. Victor wants it. The Winters want it. She sells it to the highest bidder to fund her company.
Girl, I don't know. The writing for her is just crazy to me. I think Audra get better storylines than Phyllis does.
She gets men too.
Right.
She went through 5 different men.
Audra gets the same storylines over and over though. Like this is what her 4th time doing some type of company steaming, whatever it is she's doing to be the CEO of a company. I feel like this is her 4th time doing this, and it never ends up working out for her.
Yeah. Well, you're right about that one, Keish. But yeah, that whole thing made it. She just looks lost in the sauce. She has no direction. She looked like she is an emotional attachment to her son, and her son is like, "Look, let me figure. I just lost my girlfriend.
Yeah.
My daughter is off touring with my father. I'm here by myself. I just need a break so I can learn how to play the guitar with Tessa. Just leave me alone." So, I don't know. They got to figure out something to do with her. Yeah, Gail Lewis, I did see that on social media about the stars from Y&R and GH playing Celebrity Family Feud. That should be pretty fun to watch.
I can't wait for that too.
Yeah.
I love Family Feud.
Yeah, that should be pretty darn good. All right, moving along. Let me see what else. Oh, and then Amanda ran into Sally and Billy and Sally was like, "I don't trust you," and I'm like, "Girl, if you don't shut up." Go ahead. What'd you say?
Right. Of all people saying that, "I don't trust you," girl, if you don't sit down.
Ooh, everybody getting some seats this week, boy. Ooh, that whole section is gonna be full.
She acting real high and mighty.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, they. Everybody's just crapping on Amanda. Like, I wanted her to cut some people out, but it's almost like she just kind of took it.
Because she can't say anything about Aristotle Dumas. And the thing is, she tried to clap back when we get to the whole conversation with Abby and Devon. But, I mean, at least Amanda told Billy, "Look, you need to go check on your mama before it's too late." Whatever that cryptic message mean. And, it had him looking like, okay, what does that mean or something? I mean, because she already had issues, which is why she took a breather away from the company in the first place.
Yeah, because I think she had lost her mom, and she was trying to just pick up the pieces for herself after the demerger and Jill selling off the company to Victor. So she, had to regroup, and she's working for this guy, and all she's doing is she's answering all these people's questions.
Yeah.
Like, she hasn't done anything for her to look untrustworthy.
Well, for whatever reason, because we got to switch to these Winters. That first meeting between, and I think that come off of last week too, where we had Amanda, Devon, Lily, and Nate, and she's telling them, like, "Look, y'all good. Y'all ain't even on the radar. You clear." Me and Bree talked about that last Sunday, and they just cannot believe that nobody, as you say, what did you say, Bree? Ain't nobody checking for them?
Nobody was checking for them. That's why they're so bothered. They're not of the level of a Newman Enterprise or a Chancellor Industries, and that's what bothers them.
I mean, that whole situation, because it's 2 parts. We had the conversation between Abby, Devon, and Amanda, and then we had Damien and Lily. And even when that man went to Dumas and said, "Hey, I can play a spy for you to get information on Winters. He was like, nope, I'm good, thank you. And Lily still was like, well, wait a minute, he don't want no information on us either. I'm like, what is, ma'am? And Damien is sitting up there like, yeah, I think maybe he just is not interested in Winters, and she can't believe it.
I think Devon is the worst of them all. But this woman took time out to come sit. Well, I'll start with the three Winters.
Mm-hmm.
Took time out to go sit with them over in society. She didn't have to do that. She owes nobody. And she was like, hey, I work for him. He sent me. I'm a trusted source. And you guys know that I'm a trusted ally. I'm telling you, you got nothing to worry about. Well, how do we know that? Like it's awfully fishy for him to hire you. He wants nothing to do with Winters. They even asked him, are you guys going to go after Chancellor? She said yes.
Mm-hmm.
So you would think they would be free and clear. But just the fact that Lily, of all people, is suspicious of Amanda's motives, and then you got Devon, and I'm like, you're the cheater, pumpkin eater. It's both you and Nate, by the way.
Yeah.
And you can't trust her. What does she do to make you not trust her?
Yeah, y'all cheated on her.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I think what bothered me most about that interaction with her, Devon, and Abby was that they keep having her reference what happened. And they did that the last time that she was in town. And I want them to stop doing that with her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I need them to allow Amanda to move on and stop portraying her as if she's still a jealous ex and still bitter about being cheated on. I hate that they did that to her too. But I like the Amanda character, and I hate that she is letting them see that she's still bothered by what they did.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, they keep bringing it up, like, oh, you're just seeking revenge, or you're still mad, and she constantly has to defend herself.
Mm-hmm.
And say, like, no, I've already moved on. Clearly, everyone has moved on. You guys are not listening to me.
But she hasn't, though. That's the thing. Yeah. She clearly in that conversation yesterday that she had, that she was making little comments and saying little things that referenced that. Now, Abby approached her on her own, but Amanda was the first one to bring up anything that referenced what happened. And even in that scene with Devon, mm-hmm. They made a point of having her look at Devon's wedding ring and Devon noticing that. And it's like, why? Why do you guys do that to her?
I mean, it would be no different if it was Chance, because even Chance, he's been on screen longer than Amanda. I think that there was just too much space in between. And then we had Devon and Abby get married and back in November. So I don't know if they're just trying to tie up loose ends about this woman's feelings, about how the two people who, caused like the heartbreak that she had to deal with got married and they moved on. I don't know if they're just trying to find some way to try to link these characters together while talking about Aristotle Dumas. But like her taking her jabs, I don't blame her, especially trying to get Abby together, because she was at the audacity, as y'all were saying, for her to act like she's the untrustworthy one and she is up to no good. But the way she chin checked Abby, I was here for it.
I didn't mind her checking Abby. I just didn't like when she would take it upon herself to reference the cheating as it in a way that shows that she's obviously still bothered by it. She has not moved on. The way that they have her referencing it is showing that she hasn't moved on from it and she's still bothered. And that's what I think that they're doing with her, because I feel like her character deserves better. Like, they already took the character off the show. Like, just allow her to move on from Devon and Abby. Don't nobody care about them like that. Stop making Amanda look like she's bitter and jealous till that they're together now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I think? I think she tried to take the high road when Abby walked up in there. Abby kept poking the bear. And I mean, obviously that wound is still there. even though it might be in a process of healing. But Abby kept poking the bear. And
Yeah.
then for Devon to come up in there and have this look like, is this about me? And, if the problem is with me, and throwing all that around and then making his demands, at some point, you're going to reopen a healed wound and it's going to be a little sore.
I would have told him no. How are you going to demand me to get a meeting with him? I'm sorry, aren't you the billionaire?
Yeah, when he was like, I'm not going to take no for an answer. Well, I don't work for you, Devon. So
Yeah,
you can't force me to
what
do anything.
exactly? What did he actually think that? That's a threat? What you gonna do to me if I don't?
And I wish that they would have let her say that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then Monday's episode, that disappointed me. I'm like, girl, why did you call?
Oh, I haven't seen it yet. So she actually called Dumas.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I was disappointed by that. Spoiler alert, sorry, y'all. But the fact that this man was demanding anything out of her, so you can demand for her to have you sit down with a meeting with your boss, but you can't go to Victor, and he was the main one who told you that Dumas was going after your company.
It's just interesting that both Lily and Devon are so distrusting of people like Damien and Amanda. But the one person that you really need to distrust is the one that told you to lie in the first place, which is Victor.
Exactly. And
him being he'll lie to you.
Say that again, Keish.
I said, who has already proven with Lily that he'll lie to you and he'll do what he needs to do to get what he wants.
Yep, and use his wife to do it too. I'm like, they are so they worship Victor. They're scared of Victor. I don't understand how Devon is a whole business owner and a billionaire, but scared to go up with the people who matches his same bank accounts.
Yeah, I don't.
I couldn't take him seriously as a threat. That's why Devon doesn't care for Winters like that. Look who their owner is.
Girl, it seemed like he got some psychological Stockholm syndrome hold on these people. That everything they tell them is from a solid source, knowing that he, like Damien said, he's the master of misinformation.
Yep. And it flew right over their heads.
Mm-hmm.
And it also shows they never listened to their daddy either. Didn't Neil tell you the reason as to why he had to create his own company and all the stuff that he went through with Victor?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because they all can miss me. I think Lily and Devon more than anybody, but Devon, the audacity. You're a whole billionaire, so you can't use your resources, your connections. You're not. So you are just you're rich for nothing.
I would rather have flipped this where Devon checks Abby about her father. It's like, how you gonna, check Abby about her father? She the one that started, he's the one that started this mess. Abby just came out of nowhere and then want to take this out on Amanda, and it's like, well, you can't be trusted. Well, Dumas can't be trusted. Your daddy can't be trusted.
Of all people, and she knows because she get $500 million from him.
Yeah.
Crying and pleading in the court, saying he's this and that. Okay.
Okay, I am going to skip that Wednesday episode.
Yeah, it served absolutely no purpose.
Yeah, we had romancing in between Jack and Diane and Victor and Nikki, and he gave her a gift of blah 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 blah. Let's get to Friday, because Thursday was that whole thing with Devon and Abby. And then again, before we move on, what did y'all think? Because I know I brought it up. What were your thoughts on the situation with Damien and Lily and making that phone call to Dumas about spying and her being upset that he didn't want no information on them?
It's nonsense. The whole thing is nonsensical. It doesn't make sense. You're mad because this man wants to leave you guys alone, basically.
And protect the company. That was another key thing that Amanda told Abby and Devon, that he wants to protect them.
Mm-hmm.
So, and are like, protect us from what? I'm like, girl, leave it alone. But the entire time, that scene between Damien and Lily, I'm like, she doesn't want you, sir.
Nope.
At all. She is using you, and you are sipping your life away. You are giving up a job to run hotels.
But the funny thing is though, last week's episode, she told him like, you want to impress me, so yeah, that's why I'm asking you to do this, because that's you, since you've been in town, you've been trying to impress me. So he knows why she's asking him to do it, and he's doing it anyway. So it's not like she's lying to him.
That is true.
And it's a disservice because she didn't make Billy go out of his way to impress her, or Daniel, or even Abe to go out of their way to impress her.
I think he might end up like Daphne. Because once she find out, because I know it's some speculation that Aristotle Dumas is Cain. If Lily find out this is her ex-husband, and she's always had a soft spot for Cain, and he got power too, and he could probably get Chancellor back for her too.
And I think that's the whole motivation.
And Damien is going to be out in the cold. Might as well go find Daphne, because she is too.
Which is fine with me, because I don't really see the chemistry there for Lily and Damien, in my opinion.
I lost it. I had it when he first walked into society and saw her. I was excited about it, but she's been so annoying, and the way she's been treating this man and been so suspect of him and all this, and he's just jumping through hoops to do whatever she wants. And like you say, Keish, she was honest. I know you're interested in me, so hey, you want to prove something? Here you go, prove it. And he's doing it. So it's
I'm still on the. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm still on the Phyllis Damien train. I know y'all don't want that.
He would lose his mind. He would be in a mental institution dealing with Phyllis. I would want something better for him. I can see Damien and Victoria, and the way that whole.
Wait, hold on. Can y'all see Damien and Amanda?
I would love that.
Amanda's not going to be around though.
Yeah, and that sucks because they were asking, do they know each other? I'm hoping, keeping my fingers crossed, that they do.
I don't know. I need to go back and listen to that conversation that him and Lily had yesterday, because it seemed like when he was asking about her past with them, I guess I felt like he didn't know Amanda, but I could have just been misreading it, and him just asking like specifically the history with her and Devon. Not that he just didn't know her at all, but
he didn't know. Based on the conversation he had with Lily yesterday, Keish, it seemed like he didn't know none of this. He was like, what, they had a pass? All I know is Dumas hired an attorney. I don't know who the attorney was. So, yeah, according to him, it seemed like he has no idea who Amanda is and the connection that she had to the Winters.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, yes, Delmonica, we need more likes.
How many likes do we have, Bree?
Let's see where we at with the like. I'm seeing 30 likes.
And how many people in here?
Oh my goodness. We got 107 so far.
Okay, y'all need to get the likes up at least over to 50, 55. Get it at a 50%.
That was quick.
What?
Yeah, 51.
Oh, great. Okay, everybody hit the like button at the same time. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. In a nanosecond, the likes got up. Thank you, Delmonica and Bree. I appreciate you.
Yes.
Since y'all was talking up the likes. All right. Which now takes us into the Friday episode, because Victor is upset. The man is hotter than fish grease when Michael quit. However, That again, another set of audacity is Nikki Newman. So she's having a conversation with Lauren, and of course Jack shows up. Lauren, she's talking about the great night that she had with her husband, blah blah blah, and then Lauren talks about the night that she had, but I got some bad news. My husband's about to quit. This woman had the nerve to say that he bet pretty much he better not dare quit because I need him to keep Victor out of trouble. Wait a minute. Now, picture yourself. Your man is about to leave a narcissist to be at home, and y'all can go and live your life and and travel and do what you want to do without dealing with, his crazy boss. He about to quit, and the boss's wife said, no, he ain't doing that. I need him to stick around to keep an eye and stop my husband for doing crazy stuff. I'm sitting there. Go ahead, y'all.
Nikki just as annoying as Victor is. She works my nerves.
I would be like, if I was Lauren, I'd be like, look, that's not my problem.
I didn't watch the episode. What did Lauren say?
She was sitting up there. She didn't give her a harsh clap back like I would wanted her to. Do you think so, Bree?
No, I wish she had a different response to that, because she was like, well, I'm sure that there's plenty of lawyers who would love to work for Victor. Nikki's giving pushback saying like, hey, but how many are they going to actually say no to him? And that's why we need Michael to stay. And Lauren is just sitting there, and Jack is trying to take up for her and say like, hey, I agree with Lauren. And Lauren is just quiet. And then she's like, it's okay. Victor and Michael, they can end amicably. And Nikki and Jack were like, Victor? Really? Lauren had lost her marbles, but I understand. I wish she had a better clapback saying, hey, your husband put my husband through X, Y, and Z. I haven't seen this man in years. I want my man back. Y'all deal with whatever issues are over there. It's not a problem for us no more. Exactly. But that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I agree with that 110%. I mean, she had the nerve to tell, my husband is leaving because he's sick of your husband. And you're going to be like, no, he ain't leaving. He needs to stay. Like, who are you talking to?
Right.
Entitled.
Like, exactly. That couldn't be my friend anymore.
Somebody said that in the comment section. Who said that? Cynthia Chain. She said, if I was Lauren, Nikki would no longer be a friend of mine. How selfish can you be?
Exactly. What more do you want my husband to do? He already went to prison. He's already covering up all your husband's crimes for a better part of 20 years. What else do you want my husband to do for yours?
And then we get over to the ranch. Michael, Victor talking about, okay, do we got any news? And he like, all of the spies has been fired. And I'm like, go Jack and Kyle. How did y'all find the rest of them? They got him out of there. And then
Michael provided for him.
They did? Did I miss that part?
Remember
what episode was that?
I think it was like about 2 weeks ago. This is when Victor was lashing out at Michael. Remember when Michael and Jack had had that one-on-one over at Neil's bar at the hotel?
Okay. It was in that conversation?
They never disclosed those details. Shortly after, the spies were gone.
Okay, gotcha. And then he just dropped a bombshell on Victor, say, I'm done. And Victor was like, yeah, okay. And then about 5 seconds later, he was like, no, you're not. And I'm surprised he didn't use Brooke Logan's phrase, I won't allow it.
And then Victor was asking, like, what's your reasoning for this? Michael's like, my wife asked me to, and I made a promise to her. The look on Victor's face, he was like, I'm like,
Well,
Lauren about to come up missing or
but here's
something.
the crazy thing about Victor. And this is where his selfishness, his entitlement, that's why I call the Victor Newman character a narc.
Mhm.
Michael says, I haven't seen my son. I need to spend time with my wife. I done did all these things for you. And at some points, you tell me you don't even trust me. And Victor is like, okay, well, if you understand family, family is supposed to stick together. He is trying to stick with his family.
Right.
Yeah. He's not your family. He's your employee, as he stated, about a week and a half ago.
What was that about? Was it a month ago when he said he still don't trust Michael?
Yeah.
Who can keep living? He
Actually,
keep moving. Go ahead.
he told two lies, because he said one moment he trusts him, next minute he said he's over it, he's moved on, moved forward, and then he went back to the I don't trust you again about 2 weeks ago.
Okay, so
It's
that
what
was two
serves
weeks
Victor in
ago.
the moment.
Yeah, and I mean, you just blew past the fact that this man said, I need to spend time with my son. And Michael was like, when you speak of family, you should be able to understand that. He was like, skip your family. My family is more important.
Right.
Girl, again,
Yeah.
audacity.
Yeah. And then Nikki came home. She was like, I had to talk with Lauren, baby. And he was like, don't ever mention the name Michael Baldwin to me. I was like, don't talk about this man. I'm like, now he put a target on his back. Because one thing about Michael, he knows he's the bone collector, a professional bone collector. And Victor can't have that. And on top of that, he's losing his trusted lawyer because of Lauren. It's not going to end well for Lauren or Michael. However, that's going to go, I don't know. And I wouldn't put it past Michael to go work over at Jabot, too.
Yeah, well, that party is next week. I'm wondering if something, I think it's on the Friday the 30th is when that party is going to go down. You know something's bad is going to happen. I'm just hoping Michael stick to his whole thing and stay away from this, because whatever the fallout is at this party, I just want it to blow up royally in Victor's face.
Yeah.
Michael has enough experience and enough money to have his own practice to where he's not working for one of these companies. I don't understand why they haven't had him do that yet.
He did. This was like years ago when Avery Clark is Phyllis's sister, was on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And why not have him go back to that? Like, they make it seem as if he needs to be working for one of these corporations instead of being his own boss.
I agree with that. Like he it's like he hopscotches between doing something else and working for Victor, because wasn't he like the DA at one point? And he had his own law firm. He actually had two law firms. Actually. Because I forget who the other attorneys were, but I remember he had one with Avery Clark. But yeah, for whatever, I guess the money over there with Victor is, I could only imagine, especially for a billionaire, he could throw like a couple of million a year.
But is it worth it?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, as long as he's been working for Victor, as much money as he has had to have made all these years, he should have plenty of money in his savings and any other type of accounts to where he probably doesn't even have to work again if he didn't want to, let alone have his own stuff instead of answering to Victor all the time.
20 years worth, I would hope so. And plus, his wife is incredibly wealthy. She comes from old money.
Yeah, so they got money.
Yeah.
She's what? Is she the CEO of Finmore?
Yeah, which is her father's company.
It's that whole stupid loyalty thing with Victor, which Victor is not loyal to him. Victor will throw him under the bus in a heartbeat. He will throw him out to the wolves. He will have Michael do all his dangerous, dirty work.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, how do you not see this? How do you not see that this man basically uses you? I don't understand.
Yeah,
And at the detriment to your own marriage.
right. I mean, because technically, if Lauren hadn't have threatened him, he would still be doing this. I truly believe he only is doing this because he realized he might lose his wife.
And it's about time, because Lauren has complained to him
For a
many
long
times
time.
before.
Yep.
Yeah, many times before about this.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably been the one sticking point with the two of them for the last decade, is his work for Victor.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand. He got him out of the Jordan situation when he was having her behind bars in that cellar with them doggone Brussels sprouts. The man went to a Peruvian prison and was stuck down there. I mean, and then you come back and say, I don't trust you? This man has been putting his life on the line. He could have got hit by a bullet with this whole Ian thing, and his wife would have been looking at you like crazy, but it's never enough. That dude keep moving the goalposts. He ain't gonna never be that dude for Victor. Victor keeps dangling a carrot in front of him, and he's tired of it.
And here's the thing. Michael also threw Victor a bone. He said the main reason why I'm leaving is because of your vendetta against the Abbotts. He said, if you can change that, he basically left that door open. And Victor's like, no, that's never going to change.
Girl, his ego is still bruised from that whole night with Jack and his wife, who manipulated both of them, and when they was in that hotel room. Why you?
Yeah.
But it's you mad that he saved her from this alcoholism, not you. That's what this whole thing is about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
His ego is bruised.
Jenna has it right in the comment section. She said, Victor is just insufferable now. He's too old to be so full of hate.
Yeah, I mean, Eric Braeden is a good actor. It's just that they always have him just doing stuff. It's like, can you let this man retire? At least we know John McCook. He's just chilling with Donna playing pickleball somewhere.
Yeah. And he'll pop up over at Forrester Creations every now and again. And they had the fashion show and all that good stuff. But he let that go. He said that was Stephanie's thing. That wasn't his thing. He just likes to cheat. That was always Eric's thing. He like a side piece every now and again. That's how he got his wife Donna. But anywho, I just wish, like, everyone else is coming to the realization about who Victor is, except for Claire.
Oh,
and that's
God,
annoying.
Jesus. Okay, we got to talk about Kyle. So he had a conversation with his mama about how he has an angel on one shoulder and a devil on the other shoulder, and they're both pulling him in different directions, and how this whole thing with Claire is pretty much, just tell it like it is getting on his nerves. And he don't know what to do to it. Now, I know he was talking about whether or not he feel worthy enough, but Claire is becoming insufferable because there's this never-ending need, just like some of these other people in town, to prove something to Victor, and Victor is not going to budge. What's your thoughts?
I had a lot of thoughts. That whole conversation said a lot. He is trying to, because he brought up the thing that he did to his parents and the corporate espionage, and he's trying to turn a new leaf. And I also think that he's trying to do that through Claire too, showing that he can be with a good person and you know, not go to his other instincts. And he's trying so desperately to appease her, but it's getting to him. He said, I don't want to go please Victor and try to get his approval, and I had to make this grand gesture. I don't care to do any of that. And he's annoyed by the fact that Claire wants this approval so badly and is putting their lives on hold. But he's throwing himself into the fire when it comes to this whole Audra situation, because his parents had told him, don't worry about it. Focus on you and Claire. Focus on just a job that you have over at Jabot. We're not concerned about this little itty bitty company or what she has going on with Victor. He's like, no. He's throwing himself into mix because he likes that interaction, that banter with Audra. And that's why he made it very clear he has an angel on one side and a devil on another. And he could swing either which direction. And the fact that you have Claire trying to make like little notes on some dry cookies saying, be good, be sweet, baby. I feel like that's getting to him because he can't really fully be himself. He's being the version that in her eyes will appease Victor. And that's the vision that she's trying to pitch to Victor.
So let me ask you this, Bree. And Keish, did you see that episode today or no?
I saw them yesterday. I didn't watch today's episode.
Oh, okay, so you really didn't get a chance to see it. Do you think, obviously Kyle seemed to be interested in her, but do you think if she wasn't so bent on the whole Victor thing that they would have been just fine?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I think they would have been fine, but it still wouldn't take the angel or devil away because he likes that sort of banter, that little corporate competition. And for whatever reason, Claire is so bothered by that. But I'm like, you knew this about him as his nanny.
Mm-hmm.
And that this hasn't changed. He likes that back and forth and trying to get one up on the competition. And he likes kind of flirting with danger, if you will. That's who he is. That's why Summer, it was always someone he went back to because she gave him the balance. But you have Claire who wants to be this goody-goody two-shoe girl and try to get her grandfather's approval and, just kind of holding back her adulthood in a lot of ways for Victor's approval. And that's just not meshing well with who Kyle is and how he wants to move forward in his life.
Gotcha. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, it really falls on Claire. And she needs to kind of just get it together. Otherwise, she's going to miss out on Kyle.
Yeah, because there's a statement that came up is whether or not he is being, with what he's going through, is he just like her grandfather? Because one of the conversations that they had when they was at Society, where we had the two with Audra and Nate and Claire and Kyle, the conversation with Claire and Kyle, Claire was like, you playing all these games and things like that. So she sees the small parts of that coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And see, I think they're getting past that little honeymoon phase, because at first it was all cute and sweet and we play around with Harrison and we're now sleeping together. We talked about buying a house, and now Kyle his true self is coming out.
Yep.
And
it's going to come out on Monday too.
And on the flip side, Claire won't let this thing go. And it's like, I got to give some criticism to Claire, because when you got your mom and your grandmother who has known this man since the beginning of time almost, and they're trying to tell you it ain't gonna happen, but if you think you this special little snowflake that's gonna change his mind,
yeah,
and then you tell your boyfriend who has already tried to meet Victor halfway and it was shut down, now you want him to still do a grand gesture at this so-called party next week. It's just too much at this point. That would be utterly frustrating. And I can understand that part of Kyle. Because it's like, girl, are you delusional or what?
And he broke down everything last week. He was like, hey, your grandfather planted 3 spies over at our company. He despises my father. He's done so for years. He's this man is not going to change. And her response to that, you're not going to try.
Exactly. Did you not hear anything that I just said to you?
Yeah, she's gonna be in for a world of hurt, and Holden's gonna pick up the pieces, and they're slowly planting those seeds. From what I see on Monday's episode.
Well, here's the interesting thing. What Claire don't understand, even if it's not Kyle, the next dude, he gonna have a problem with him too. It might not be at the degree that he hates the Abbotts, but every man that, or woman that his children date. I mean, he did a whole doxing of Sally.
Yep.
He
this woman was pregnant.
Right, she was exactly
pregnant, and you say, like, basically trying to pay for her baby and for her to go away.
Yeah, so I mean, what are you gonna do? Every dude that you get with, meaning Claire, are you going to make that guy jump through hoops to prove something to your grandfather? Because if Victor don't like him, he's not going to. And the only reason he's tolerating Chelsea is because Adam is doing and we saw a little bit of that almost implode last week, because Chelsea is like, I don't want no parts of this mess if your daddy is still telling you what to do.
Mm-hmm. She gonna learn the hard way, because the banter between Audra and Kyle, I can't help but say that I really like it. Like, they definitely have hot chemistry.
Ooh.
And I can definitely Audra and Kyle.
Audra and
you
Kyle.
think so?
I can't.
Yeah,
those two are toxic.
And they both know that, and it both works for them. That's why she had no problem not giving a damn about her relationship with Nate, and she is going this route to even get a company. And then you have Kyle, who his parents, even Claire, saying, don't get yourself mixed up with Audra. His daddy is the CEO of that company. He's not even the least bit concerned about Audra. But Kyle wants to throw himself in the mix and putting himself in this predicament, thinking, like, I'm going to get one over on her. It's like, why? For what?
Well, remember, he told Diane earlier today, it's about winning with him. I have to win. That's the devil side of it, that I have to win this. I got to conquer all. And the angel side of him is like, I don't know about that. Don't do that. Kind of take a step back. Maybe that's not the right thing to do. So it's this, I'm going to win and beat the competition thing. But the problem is this a trap that he's walking into. That's not what he think it is. So, I mean, he's thinking it's all company. This is all personal.
I'm sorry. I'm just looking at the chat. I love the chat. I love you, Soapies. You guys see exactly what I see when it comes to Audra, that she's a Tempur-Pedic, that she's a mattress. Jenna said this woman has no soul. She barely has any springs in the mattress at this point.
Oh, Lord. Keish, what you got, girl? I know you've been kind of quiet. I know you didn't see the Friday episode. What do you think about what we've been saying?
I don't think it's that deep with Kyle. I don't think he needs some type of banter from Audra. I just think Kyle's an idiot. And like you just said, he has to be the one that wins and gets over on somebody. I think he's still got a chip on his shoulder from when him and Audra worked together before.
Mm-hmm.
And she tried to get over on him when they were both working for Victor. And he's just stupid. He's a brat. He has to have things his way. And I don't understand why, with all the cosmetics companies that exist in the world, why he's always so threatened when someone else wants to jump into the industry. He was like that when Tucker was doing it. He was like that before when him and Audra were doing whatever they were doing. And it's like, oh my God, a new company's coming. We got to find out what they're up to. And it's like, Jabot has been around for decades.
Right.
This one little company with their one great idea is not going to all of a sudden knock your company that's been around for decades out of business. I hate when they do these kind of storylines because it's so stupid and it makes zero sense.
Gotcha.
So I don't know. I just read it as Kyle just being a competitive, spoiled brat idiot that just has nothing better to do. I don't think I don't think he's into Audra, and I don't think Audra is into him. I think they're just out to tear each other's throats out and knock each other's off of their little high horses.
Right.
And they're both being petty.
Also, well, we'll probably talk in the group chat,
Okay.
but like, check out Monday's episode. Because, like, spoiler, this man drops his date with Claire to go meet up with Audra.
Oh, that's the whole problem.
Yeah. And has this girl sitting at the bar where Holden's going to try to pick up the pieces. But I'll leave it at that. But that interaction between Kyle and Audra, it says something else to me. But let me know what you think when you
I'm gonna get a chance. I'll probably check it out after we get off, so I can see what you're talking about.
Yeah, because Claire had a whole attitude.
I would have an attitude too.
Yeah,
if he dropped me to go.
Go ahead.
Dropped a date with me to go pull some scheme or whatever it is that he was trying. And that's what her whole problem is with this thing is his history with Audra. So she's insecure about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why, I know that she had something to say about some of the other business stuff before, like when he was at odds with his parents and was doing all that stuff with Victor. But I think this particularly is strictly because it's Audra that he's sparring with. I think that's where her problem is, and she's insecure about that because of their past. But I would be pretty annoyed too. He already knows that this bothers her, that he's playing these games because he wants to try to ruin, whatever Audra's got going on with Victor. And then to find out that you're going to cancel a date with me because you trying to do whatever it is that you're trying to do to annoy Audra. Yeah, I'd be mad too.
Just check out Monday's episode because for me, she's insecure. It's more than just Audra. The fact that Audra moves like a woman and Claire is still looking for her granddaddy's approval is a vast difference.
You're talking about they're like in two different lanes.
Well, I've always felt like that about Claire because they have her acting as if she's still a child. Remember how they used to dress her? Mm-hmm. How they used to do her hair? Like that. Her and Kyle, to me, it never made sense because she's always felt like a child. It was weird to me. She felt like she was a high schooler dating a grown man, even though they're supposed to be, I guess, around the same age. And I think they've tried to change that up a little bit with her, with how they dress her, but I think we've seen her act that way for so long. I don't know, that it's still all I see. It's just her dating anybody on this show is just going to be weird from here out because she just feels like a child.
Somebody.
RJ perfect for her.
Yeah. Someone of RJ's caliber, yes. Yes, Kyle feels much more, as immature as Kyle is and as bratty as he acts, he still feels like a man and much more mature compared to the way Claire
portrays herself. Let me ask y'all this quick question, and we probably gonna have to move on to bold because we've been on this for an hour 20. Do you think the original Claire, the pre-Newman Claire, when she came on that mission for Jordan and she came to work for Nikki, when she had her hair pinned up and a business suit on and asked Nate out for coffee, does that version of Claire would have looked better with Kyle?
Oh yeah, I would have been perfectly fine with that version. It wasn't coffee; it was a drink.
Oh
a
yeah,
drink
okay,
threat.
drink.
And she went for it. She wasn't shy. She wasn't childlike. There was nothing. This was like a sophisticated woman, and they just, it's like they're taking leaps and bounds, and then they stop when it comes to Claire's mentality, her maturity. And this is why because she was insecure about the whole Summer thing. This is why she's insecure now about the whole Audra thing too. But that's a whole woman, and she's still looking for her granddaddy's approval, even though her whole family says, and his family is like, "Hey, go for it, be together, we support it." She's still very childlike.
Hmm.
And even it doesn't help with the way that Victoria and Cole and Nikki treat her, and Victor. Yeah, they all treat her like a child. It's very weird.
Mm-hmm. The girl is almost 30 years old. I mean, the Baby Eve character was born into play in 1998.
Yeah.
So you're talking 27?
27.
Yeah. 27.
Yeah. And she's technically supposed to be older than Summer, but Summer acts more of a woman than she does.
Yeah, they did a disservice by taking her and what is the actress name?
Haley Aaron.
Yeah, they did a disservice by taking Haley Aaron and Soror her backwards. Because most time they age kids up. They took her backwards. I mean, they had her with her hair twisted to the side down the back with these little high school plaited skirts.
She was dressed like her little sister.
Right. I mean, her and Katie looked like they were the same age almost.
Mm-hmm. And even Katie didn't want to fool with her at first.
Exactly.
Katie had me cracking up.
But Brooklyn, you saw what I see? She said, yes, Bree, exactly. Monday's episode shows both Kyle and Audra laughing. You see that banter that I was talking about? You guys got to check out Monday's episode. The way those two interacted, it reminded me when they first got together.
Okay, well, here's the problem that I see with the Holden thing. Holden looks even older as a man than Kyle. So why would you even try to put those two together, writers?
Yeah,
that's why I don't think it's gonna happen.
But she's like, I
don't think Kyle went through all he did and did all that caping for what's that girl's name, for Claire.
Mm-hmm.
To suddenly fall in love with Audra and drop Claire. Like they're about to try to move in together and all this. I think it's an act.
Well, no, we have to see. I gotta take a look at that Monday's episode, and obviously, like I said, that party's going on. Somebody gonna be doing something devious. So, all right. Do y'all have anything else with Y&R? It was so much audacity. If you want to hang people on that audacity title, I mean, you had Devon, Lily, Nikki, Victor, Claire. Who else? Anybody else?
Winters.
Billy
and Abby. And Sally.
Mm-hmm.
Half of the cast.
And writers, you should have had
Sharon.
Oh yeah, Sharon too.
Oh yeah.
And
Phyllis.
Phyllis too. Writers, you should have had both Amanda and Lauren have some good comebacks in their conversation. There's no way Lauren should have been that calm when Nikki said what she said. There's no way that you should have Amanda running to Dumas for Devon just because he said you better do it or else. Who you think you are?
Right.
So, anyway, we're moving on. How many likes we got and how many people in the chat, Miss Bree?
Let's see, we got 113. I see 58 likes.
Okay. Y'all continue to hit the like button. Get that number up. We gonna start talking about Bold. This was a run-on.
Sorry, my bad. 72 likes. Okay.
Just that fast. Okay.
That was quick.
Thank you very much. All right, keep it going. Keep it going. Oh boy, we had a run-on sentence this week, and what I mean by that is that it was just on and on and on, wrapped around this whole Liam situation. I am not impressed with the storyline. No shade to Scott Clifton because he's an excellent actor. I just don't like the storyline. I don't.
They were in the same clothes for 2 weeks, y'all.
And there was a few things that, I mean, y'all went from having these women hate each other for the last better of a year or more, even prior to when the whole thing happened with Thomas, to now Liam is the catalyst for these two women singing Kumbaya. If Liam was not keeling over, would they be cool right now?
Nope. They wouldn't.
No, Keisha just, nope. No, they wouldn't. That's why I just think it's only temporary. Obviously, this is a soap. They'll be at each other's throat sooner or later down the road. And I get the whole life is short thing, and they both share a child with Liam, and Hope did deserve to know, in my opinion. However, this whole thing, I mean, it's just so many moving parts with this, because then you got Carter, who I still think, even though Hope is back with him, he's on borrowed time with this girl. Do y'all agree, or what do y'all think? Because then...
yeah.
Go ahead.
I can't wait for it, too.
I mean, did you see... And I could tell something must is going to happen with this, because when Daphne said, you're going to regret this, there's usually a foreshadowing when they write stuff like that in a script. But just the fact that Liam now maybe have a possibility with this treatment, which obviously chemo can be harsh on the human body because it's chemical medicine. He's probably willing to take that chance to extend his life, and more than likely he's probably going to have a better outcome to it than we expect. Because I know what he said in his interview, and like me and Bree said last week, I don't believe anything Bold do in public interviews. I'm sorry. You then did it one too many times with Kimberly Brown and Tanner Noblin, and yeah, okay, whatever. What are y'all thoughts? Wherever y'all want to start.
Oh, goodness. I mean, I guess the meat and the potatoes of this week happened with Thursday and Friday when they changed clothes, because in all honesty, well, I'll say this. I did not like the fact that they had Steffy give Hope her job back without this girl at least apologizing first. It's like they handed it to her, and then Hope was like, oh yeah, I'm sorry, my bad. It happened, my bad. Like, I couldn't take it seriously.
Yeah.
She was never planning. You can tell that she was never planning to apologize for anything.
Nope.
Because if she was, she would have apologized the first time that Steffy came over.
Exactly.
Or sometime before that. Hell, she was still complaining about Carter betraying her.
Yep.
And about how she was basically wrongfully terminated from the company to Liam.
Yep.
So, yeah, that part of it bothered me too. They had her wait until after she got her job back, and then she apologized. Oh, I've been thinking about what happened, and we took things too far. And what did she say to her mom today, or to Ridge? I think she said something like, "We were just trying to do the right thing. We just went about it in the wrong way." What right thing were you trying to do? Was it to Brooke? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, this girl still has not fully. She's still claiming that they're unfairly treated. We were trying to do the right thing. For who?
And Had Liam not show up on her door, actually, correction, had Steffy not showed up on her doorstep to tell her what's going on with Liam, she would have still ride that wave of woe is me, I was hurt, I was betrayed, the Foresters are putting the blame on me, I lost a tacky for the future, I can't trust Carter.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, she has been out of work for about a month and a half. All she had was time on her hands.
Yep.
So it took Steffi to give you your job back to now for you to feel apologetic.
Right.
Okay.
She had to get something in return, basically.
Well, and I think we kind of talked about this last week because Bree, remember, I know it was some folks in the chat saying, oh, Hope is probably still in love and blah, blah, blah. And my comment was, nobody should have to force you to go to be with somebody. Liam pushed this girl to him.
Yep.
Because she was that statement that she made to Liam, in my opinion, was her wanting to be with Liam. He was like, no, you got a good thing with Carter. My time here is short. Don't waste your time with me. Go with somebody. He's a good dude and all this. And then all of a sudden, boom, I guess in the back of her mind, well, Liam is a goner. I might as well. I need to get some attention from somebody.
Yeah.
That woman was trying to honor his request. It had nothing to do with her wanting Carter back, and I honestly feel the way. I know J Money feels different.
I know,
but yeah, poor baby. We love you, J Money, but the fact that this woman was waffling for a year with her feelings, she didn't want to get married to nobody. She was perfectly fine screwing Thomas and trying to go after Finn. And this girl was a loose cannon. She made a clear statement to Liam saying, hey, I made a mistake leaving you. My future, her future is with Liam and Beth. Mm-hmm. That was the clearest statement she made. It took Liam to say, hey, you should go be with Carter. And all she did was just honor those wishes. Yep. And even if you guys saw the flashback that she had today, she's thinking about that conversation she had with Liam of her telling her to go back to Carter. It wasn't romantic, nothing about her missing Carter, those little sweet moments, them kissing, nothing like that.
Yeah,
it's night and day from the things that Carter flashes back to. She thought about what Liam told her to do.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Exactly, Jenna. Jenna said after all she said to Liam, and then she runs to Carter, stupid Carter believed her.
And I'm like, he's just desperate, and this is not sexy at all.
Well, what got me with Carter, and I didn't like what he said when it came to that conversation with Daphne. He said, with you, it's just so easy, but I love Hope. Why wouldn't you want somebody who wants you back?
Without fighting them.
Exactly. Why does it have to be a challenge? You've been begging and pleading with this girl for a whole month, and only the reason you heard what she said to Liam. But now she comes back and say, oh no, I love you. I want to be with you. He's dying, blah, blah, blah. And then you're like, oh, he's dying. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, but you want me back? Okay, let's go.
Yeah. And when she hugs him, the look on her face is like, okay, I'm doing this for Liam. I'm going to Carter for Liam. That look on her face when she hugged him. Mm-hmm. I'm like, this is not genuine at all from this girl. Because what happens when this man gets a cure?
Yeah, I wouldn't be a bit surprised that Liam gets a revelation in his head and is like, I got a second chance. I'm going to get Hope back.
Yep. And they're going to spend all this time together. The kids are going to be bonding. They're going to be bonding. And Carter's going to just encourage all of this. Like, go spend time with Liam. Go do this. He's going to be the the mastermind behind his own demise. This girl is going right back to Liam once this man gets a cure. There's just no question, none about it. Carter's is going to get the biggest heartbreak.
Yeah, I wonder if it's going to be at the altar.
Yep.
And didn't this happen to him before?
Well, he did the heartbreak.
He left Paris. That's the altar. Yeah.
So actually, it would serve him right to get his heart broken at the altar.
The way Bold just drags Carter all over the place with his love life. This man has been talking about wanting a family since he's been with Quinn.
Yeah, that's a good...
I don't remember him talking to... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, finish. I just saw a comment in the chat. I'm going to get back to it when you finish.
I was just going to say, I don't remember him, and maybe it's just my memory, but I don't remember him harping on wanting kids when he was with Zoe, and I don't remember him talking about it when he was with Paris, but I distinctly remember it with Quinn, him saying that he wanted a family because they talked about kids. And ever since then, every once in a while, you hear Carter say he wants a family, and it's like, why are they doing this to Carter?
He's doing it to himself.
I guess you mean the writers. Are you talking about the writers?
Yeah, the writers. Yeah. Why haven't they allowed this man to at least have one child? Carter hasn't had a child yet. Yeah. So it makes me wonder, because he brought it up again, how he wants a family, he wants a wife, and, the whole package. So it makes me wonder if during this time when her and Carter get back together, when they find this miracle cure for Liam, and they have their little back and forth, because I feel like that's going to happen too, what you said, Brie. I feel like they're going to find this cure, and then all of a sudden Liam is going to want her back, and she's going to think to herself, I almost lost him, and it made me realize how much I really want to be with him.
Yep.
But she's going to be stuck in the middle if she ends up either being pregnant by Carter, or maybe she slips up and cheats on Carter with Liam and ends up in her own little who's the daddy story.
Oh, they make love one last time. They definitely want to do that. Yes, I definitely can see that.
Okay, I just dropped a poll in the chat, so you guys can vote. Oh my God, it went 100%. The team died.
To what?
I put a poll in the chat. Are you Team Harder or Team Darter?
Team Harder is Hope and Carter. Team Darter is Daphne and Carter.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. So remember when? So Hope was the last one that Liam tried to get back with, back in October, right before Carter figured out that he was in love with Hope, and she rejected him. So this Liam storyline is doing two things for Hope. It got her back in Forrester, which was something, the minute we found out that spoiler about Liam being ill, we said that that's what this was going to lead to, because as bitchy as Steffy can be, she can be very sentimental, and she's got kind of a big heart. So when stuff like this happens, she, is going to want to mend fences and all that crap. So she's back at Forrester, and then this would explain or give an excuse to why she changed her mind from not wanting to give Liam another chance in October to now looking at things differently and almost losing him and thinking to herself, I almost never saw him again. This has changed my mind about wanting to be with him. So I could see them using in that way.
All right. So go ahead.
I was going to say, even with the stuff that Dr. Buckingham, I know we'll talk about it here in a second, saying like, hey, there's like a cure or at least something that's going to bide the time, and like the symptoms, might change the quality of life. She's going to want to be there, nurse this man. It would be really kind of insensitive for her to be planning a wedding around the time that Liam is about to expire. Mm-hmm. That's why I feel that if anything, it's going to pull her more towards his direction and not even worry about trying to get married to Carter.
Gotcha. Okay, so I do have the poll out, and I've been seeing this across my comment sections and on certain parts of social media. A lot of people are not feeling the Hope and Carter coupling. And it's evidence even with, I do have 38 votes, so thank you guys for participating in the poll. 82% are interested in Daphne and Carter. 82 out of 18.
Yeah, look, I think anybody but Hope and Carter would be more interested. They're still trying to force this upon us, and they're saying like, oh, this is love, and you got Brooke trying to cheerlead for this, and I'm like, this is just disingenuous, and yeah, I don't really care for it. J Money, where's your vote at? Where are you at?
I mean, J Money is a Hope and Carter fan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, he is. And I mean, this woman, meaning Daphne, has been 10 toes down with Carter. Even he knows that this woman is 100% him. Team Carter. And like I said, that whole comment talking about with you is so easy. Why would you want to struggle with Hope? It's going to blow up in your face when this whole thing with Liam gets better.
Yeah.
Insane.
And he didn't recognize that. The whole conversation between Hope and Carter was about Liam.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't even about them, her missing him.
Jay came in the chat.
Wait, what?
Where is he?
Wait, what?
Somebody was saying, hey, J Money. I thought maybe they had a song or something, or maybe they thought he was.
Oh, no. We hope that he pops in, because he got to represent the 1%ers of the Hope and Carter.
Right. But go ahead, girl. Finish what you're saying.
The whole conversation that Hope had with Carter was about Liam. The reason why he overheard what he heard, and like he's like, it's okay, I love you, I'll love you past your heartbreak, and some mess. I'm like, oh Lord, like you just want to be the champion of the Simp Olympics every week, really?
I know, right?
This was just too much. Yes, Blackpink me. Carter wants that struggle love. He really does. Because every woman he gets with is problematic, and he likes that.
Yeah, you know what? You sign up for that whole thing with struggle, because he definitely struggled for a whole month with this girl. And, I mean, clearly, ain't no way he should have went back that fast. With hearing, yes, okay, Liam might be dying, but I heard what you said. With the energy that you said it with. So maybe I'm going to need some time to figure that out. But of course not. He won't hope that bad.
And I'm like, it can't be all, like, I'm like, okay, like, I just don't get it. Like, I don't get it, because I'm like, this girl, she has no personality outside of a man.
Who, Hope?
Yeah.
It sound like her mama. But no, I'm just kidding.
You ain't wrong. That's but the apple don't fall far from the tree.
Mm-mm.
And she has no identity without a man and her fashion line, and that's why she was so butthurt that Carter didn't. And that's the thing about this too, like Carter, she was mad at you for not walking out and quitting both of your jobs for her.
Mm-hmm.
It took a month and a half. And then you also told her to take some time on top of that. But all of a sudden, she speaks with Liam and he's telling her to go back to you. And all of a sudden, she loves you and misses you and blah, blah, blah. Come on.
Yeah, and my thing is, what is Hope gonna be doing at Forrester? Because Steffi said, I don't think I'm bringing back the Hulk for the future line, but it'd be something else. What they
Yeah, I'm
gonna
curious
do?
about that too. Maybe she'll finally get the bedroom line from her mama.
I can see her being the face of the bedroom line.
And what? That's
So,
supposed to excite Carter or something? I mean, I don't know.
Possibly.
Anybody have any idea if Jacqueline had a baby?
no, I've been like
Cause she should have been due
checking.
this month.
Yeah, and the month is pretty much over. I figured maybe she's just trying to keep quiet about it, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But I would assume she should be on maternity leave by now
Yeah, I would think so.
because
Mm.
she was about to bust in almost every scene we saw her in.
Yeah. They was just like, well, everybody knows you're pregnant. We ain't even gonna try to hide it.
Right.
We're just gonna put you in whatever we want.
Big giant
And they just gonna have to
jackets and
pretend.
everything.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was more than obvious in the pajamas.
one of the comments was in the thing was like, what is Deacon gonna say when he find out Hope is back with Carter?
He yeah, body chop him.
I wonder how long he's gonna hold that grudge against Carter.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I think? Because eventually everyone's going to know about what's going on with Liam. I think Brooke is going to tell Deacon, and I think he's going to push Hope to go in Liam's direction to be there for him.
That's possible.
Somebody gonna have send her back to like you say, he's gonna be undergoing all these crazy treatments, and Liam, I mean, Hope is definitely going to try to be there by his side. And like you say, with Carter saying, I support you, go and that's your daughter's father. Make sure he's good. You just come back home to me. Yeah, okay.
And eventually Steffi's going to be off screen. Mm-hmm. So he's going to have more interaction with Hope probably going forward. And we'll probably get to see Elizabeth too.
Mm-hmm. All right. So now we had the situation between Brooke and Taylor. Taylor got all the confidence in the world that her man ain't going nowhere, but the way he was looking at them two screens, I think he is torn again.
That expression on his face when he was hugging Taylor just says it all for me. Like always, when he hugs her, he's got this look on his face like he's being forced to be with her. And that's the thing that sticks out to me anytime somebody says something to him about going back to Brooke is he always says, I need to keep my word. I have to keep my word.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to break her heart again. Like, I can't do that to her. He never says, I'm with Taylor because that's who I want to be with. I'm in love with her. She's who I want to spend the rest of my life with.
Mm-hmm.
Leave me alone about it. It's always, I got to keep my word. And it's like, ugh.
He's kind of said that though to Eric after the fashion show because he felt that Eric disrespected both him and Taylor. He said that's who he's chosen. He's happy with her. And it's like everyone keeps wanting to get in this man's face saying, hey, you should go be with Brooke. But I'm like, he would have been with Brooke by now. But he's choosing not to go in that direction. I think it's just, maybe he's just tired of Brooke to some degree.
But it's just like Keish said, every time he's hugging Taylor, that look on his face, is like, because he was looking at the paper or the screen with Brooke and him wearing that dress and all these thoughts and and of course it bridged it into Brooke's fantasy as well. So I don't know. I don't see. And then the kiss looked like it was forced between Taylor and him. She was the one coming in, and then you see when he grabbed her, his hand just slowly went up her back. Like, I'm like, okay, dude, are you in this or not?
Yeah, they just, if they're trying to convince us that Ridge is madly in love with Taylor and he's not thinking about going back to work, they are not doing a good job of it.
Because the reason that he went back to Taylor is because of this whole thing with that takeover. Now all of that's over and gone. Hope now has hired back Hope. I mean, Steffi has hired back Hope. Now, are you still mad or no?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He could have went back to this woman at any point by now, because he's been with Taylor since Christmas. Actually,
this is the longest span that he's been with her since they've been married, for sure. But it's like, are you with her because you feel obligated to stay with her because you don't want to break her heart again?
Yeah.
Or are you with her because you really want to be with her and it doesn't matter what anybody says? It doesn't matter how many times they tell you need to be with Brooke. This is who you want. You're just head over heels for her and you're completely done with Brooke. You don't want anything to do with her anymore romantically. Like, Taylor is your person now. Like, do you feel that way, or is it out of obligation?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I need him to say. Like, I'm not with her because I'm obligated, so I'm with her because this is who I want.
Do you think those two got chemistry?
I think they're chemistry.
Yeah, Rebecca Buddick and Torsten K.
I do.
Okay.
I think their chemistry is much better than his and KKL's. I've never really felt their chemistry.
I did like the chemistry with Krista that he had.
Oh, for sure. It was definitely, yeah. Krista's was better than both of those ladies, but
right.
I think he still has chemistry with Rebecca Buddy.
And plus, they used to work together on the other soap too, and you can definitely tell that they had like a comfortability. And when they were on the couch at Eric's house and they had the cute little moment, it shows. Like, he has better chemistry with everyone else but Brooke, or with KKL, and I hate to say that, but it's true.
Yeah, I still think this man is on the fence. Yes, I don't think he want to break Taylor's heart because of all of this whole thing she came to town with. But I still believe this man is torn. I don't know. It was just the looks and the stares and looking out in space when, Taylor's hugging him and stuff. I'm like, yeah, this ain't going.
Yeah. I have a question, y'all. Because we know Jack Wagner's coming back, I think, June 13th. Who do you think he's coming for?
I thought it was
definitely coming for Brooke. 1,000% is for Brooke.
So let me ask you this then. Just say he come for Brooke. And this man, obviously, they might just keep Ridge on the fence with this in his mind, even though he's moving with Taylor. When Jack Wagner come back and Brooke decides, that maybe they hook those two up, do you think he's going to start, meaning Ridge, getting jealous?
Yes.
Okay.
1,000%.
And that's going to make Taylor feel some kind of way, like, why do you even care?
Yep.
That's why I was asking, like, could he also be back for Taylor? Because that's also her ex-husband, too.
I would love it. I would love it if he was actually coming back for Taylor and not for Brooke. I would love that because I don't want Taylor and Ridge together because Ridge has done her so dirty over the last 20 years, but especially a couple of years ago when Crystal was in the role. The way that thing went with how he chased Taylor down in Aspen, begged her to give him another chance, told her that it had nothing to do with Brooke because she specifically asked him that question and he told her no. His kids specifically asked him, are you with her because you want to be with her, or are you with her because Brooke made you mad? And he lied to them too and said it had nothing to do with Brooke. And then the second that lie came out about what Thomas did, he walked out on her, and nobody held his feet to the fire for it. That, like, I never wanted her back with Ridge before that, but definitely after that happened, it's like they just need to stop putting Taylor and Ridge back together.
Yeah, Jenna's sick of it too in the comment section. She said, jealous over what? Let's put them back together. Especially at this point, after 30-something years. Jealous of what?
Yeah. But it's like they just enjoy making Taylor look stupid because they won't allow this woman to move on. Even off screen, they won't let her move on. Every time she comes back, there's this whole thing with Ridge about how Ridge will always be the love of her life and all this other BS. And it's like, why can't y'all just let her be happy, even off screen?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I made a mistake on the second one. People were telling me, I'm like, what's the matter? I said, should Ridge get back with Ridge?
You said, should Ridge what?
Get back with Ridge.
Was Ridge.
Okay, hold on. Let me redo it. Go ahead, keep talking, you guys.
Yeah,
I know.
The thing is, both women are looking incredibly pathetic. I feel Brooke over the course of a year has looked pathetic. This woman put on a whole wedding dress to try to get this man's attention. This woman completely disregarded the fact that Ridge called her daughter out of her name and called her an S, and he didn't even apologize for it. And on top of that, he's hung up on her face and everything. She keeps saying, Ridge is still my destiny.
I mean, Hope forgotten about it too. You saw what she said to her mom today. If that's your destiny and that's what makes you happy and who you want to be with, that's what I want for you. You completely forgot about what Ridge called her to.
Right.
Yeah.
Big or Ridge. Okay. I'm having all kind of typo issues. Okay, there we go. Alright, I'll try that. Now, hopefully that'll work. I'm just learning, obviously, how to use this feature. Because I haven't had that. Okay, there we go. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Look at the poll, y'all.
Oh, wow. Oh, Jesus. Pinecone Poppy don't have a chance, I guess. But leave it to Brooke. She said the door is wide open.
Don Monica said neither.
You know what? I would love that for Brooke to not really worry about replaying, like, and this is the issue I have with the writing for KKO, because she's a talented actress, and their go-to for her is for her to fight for Ridge, and it's a disservice to the Brooke character, because at one moment the men were falling at her feet, and she had the pick of the litter, and you got this woman begging with the wedding dress to try to get this man back, and he knows that she's always going to be in his back pocket, her and Taylor. Like, have her focus on something else, completely different.
Jenna said Brooke can't live without a man to validate her.
Sad but true.
Well, it sounds like her daughter, because she love attention, as long as somebody boosting her ego. And she know that's probably one other reason why she slid back under Carter, because Carter gonna give her all the accolades.
Yeah. And then some.
Alright, what else did we have? Well, other than that, we had Dr. Buckingham, Miss Grace, come in and offer Liam some opportunities on, some new treatments. He dropped a beanie. I was like, and they stuck a patch on the back of his hair. I'm like, hopefully that don't
supposed to be a Band-Aid,
right?
Or something,
and I'm like,
isn't it?
I hope it ain't stuck to Scott Clifton's hair, because that's gonna hurt.
Yeah, and I'm like, if you went through like a surgery like that, I would assume like would have shaved it all off or something.
Right.
I thought he was gonna be in a bald cap at first, but I'm like, oh, okay,
You
well,
don't they have some of those fake like cover up like what they call that? You know when they want to make people bald or whatever, they put on this
yeah,
thing on top of their hair and smoothed it in with makeup
yeah,
and
it's special effects. The thing is, they got it. They have no problem throwing wigs on these different women. We got Luna was Super Mario Brothers the 1 week. Like they have the capabilities of like putting a bald cap on his head. I would assume.
We've
yeah.
seen what those wigs look like. Can you imagine what a bald cap would look like? Liam, Liam would be looking nuts.
But it would be believable.
Would it? Would it be believable?
It
Oh my
would.
gosh. Keith, you are crazy.
More than just a patch on his head.
They would be better off just leaving the hat on. They should have just left the hat on his head.
I agree. That makes perfect sense because it looks like they just drilled one part of his head.
Oh man, my thing is, I thought they couldn't do surgery. So what did they do to the back of his head? Well, I know they reduced the bleeding or reduced it or something, but go ahead.
That's what it was from because when he went into that emergency surgery, that's what it's supposed to be from, and they had to relieve the blood on his brain or whatever it was that he said.
Oh, okay, but that was so funny. I'm like, that patch is hanging on the back of Scott Clifton's hair.
I had to do a double take just to make sure I was seeing things right. I was like, oh, that is. I was like, okay, interesting.
Right.
Oh shit.
Oh man. All right. Did y'all have anything else for Bold?
I was a little bit upset with Steffy because it felt like she was trying to force the issue. Mm-hmm. Just let this man digest the news that's being given to him so he can make a formal decision. Because he made valid points, like the quality of his life. Yeah, it's going to keep him around longer. But how is that time spent? That is a valid, realistic scenario that he has to think of.
Right.
That's Liam's fault because he keep allowing her to be around when he gets his medical, consult. Yeah, make her stay at home, and you just go to the hospital by yourself or with Finn or whatever. But you know Steffi is going to insert her opinion, so just he obviously either he doesn't care or he wants her there so she can do it. I don't know.
And I was like, why is she not at work as the co-CEO? You brought Hope back, and there's all these questions as to why you brought her back in the first place. Like her father, Ridge, was confused. Mm-hmm. He was like, this don't make any sense coming from my daughter.
Well, the interesting thing is we still got a Friday episode to watch because we're still a day behind because there's a scene where Daphne is telling Steph that she's leaving. So, and I'm assuming that's going to be on Monday, which would have been on Friday, because again, we had the whole thing with the Pope. Was that a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
So it hasn't caught up. It's interesting that the other two shows, we got their Friday cliffhangers, but Bold haven't caught up yet.
And you know what? They had that episode loaded because I watched that episode on Friday, and then they took it off of Paramount Plus.
Okay.
At some point Friday night.
Okay. Yeah, well.
And then they aired it again Monday. I don't know why they did that.
Yeah, because I think I had saw it on, how we normally would see it, I think after, 1 o'clock? It should be 2 o'clock your time, Bree, when you watch it, right?
Bold and Beautiful, we're talking about.
Yeah, when you watch it on the site.
Oh, yeah. It cut, usually between 2 p.m. 2:15, sometimes when at work.
Right.
Or I'll try to catch Bold live when it's on air.
Right. So that's what I remember that particular episode airing, and then I'm like, whoa, they replayed it again on Monday. So because it didn't air, I guess, because of everything that was going on. So we still a day behind. Oh, thank you, Mari, for the super sticker. She says, Happy Memorial Day weekend, everyone. Much love. Much love to you too, Miss Mari.
Same to you.
Thanks, Mara.
Yeah. So, because I was waiting to see that interaction between Steph and Daphne and whether. But I did see the spoilers. I guess that Deuce Stevens guy is supposed to be taking her to the airport. So, I thought she took photos with the group. So,
And then
what's her name? What's her first name? I know her last name is Hilaire, but is she leaving the show or what are we
maybe
doing?
she's not really leaving.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or maybe she leaves and comes back a few days later or something. I don't know.
If you guys remember, that was another thing too that Zende, Will, and Electra were pitching to her like an idea for a fashion line.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's like something that's going to keep Daphne around longer. But there was nothing on her page or like nothing coming in and out or anything like that the actress is going to be leaving.
Yeah, I didn't see anything about that either. But I guess we'll see how that all play out. But obviously it's probably gonna be on Monday, which would have been today if everything was still on track. So I am curious to see what that interaction is gonna look like. Oh shoot, what happened? Okay. No, I was looking at. I put some in the chat, but I can't see the comments. Can you see the comments?
Yeah.
Okay, because it's not showing on my end. Hold on, let me close my doc. Alright, so y'all got anything else with Bold?
No? Nah, that they didn't give us much.
Yeah. Pretty much a one-on sentence.
I will say though, just like I don't like the whole kumbaya stuff with Steffy and Hope. I don't like it with Finn and Liam either. I don't know why they keep trying to make these two men friends when this man, Liam, just last year was trying to take this man wife from him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. And the other thing is that there's a bonding moment between those two guys. Is it next Wednesday or Thursday? I think you put the
they've got a
spoilers
couple
out.
days together.
Yeah, I think you put the spoilers out, Keish. I saw them earlier this morning. Jenna said Bold is boring.
It has been boring.
And it's May sweeps, by the way.
Well, I think it officially ended this week. It was on the 20 something. So we should be at the done moment of it. So I guess what's the next one? July? Or November?
I believe so.
I guess. Alright, let's move to BTG because oh my goodness.
That has been it's been a very, very big difference between Beyond the Gates and YNR and Bold.
Mm-hmm. They have some interesting stuff. I mean, I've been struggling to get through the boring days of YNR. This run-on sentence with Bold and to watch Beyond the Gates.
Mm-hmm.
It's been interesting to watch. I find myself just looking forward to, what's next? What's next? What's next? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
Alright, so we had a lot going on. We had Tracy come to town, which she came on a sweet note but turned sour. We had this whole thing, which I didn't understand that, between Danny and what's the girl name? Pam. Leslie is she is just all over the place. Then we had Ashley and Derek trying to figure out their living arrangements. Then we got Super Sleuth Cat putting two and two together about the bike running Laura off the road and the potassium. And then Tomas is playing two in the middle.
Mm-hmm. Tomas is trash.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I mean, come on, dude. You know the well. I mean, because he's not in a relationship with either ladies, but
Mm-hmm.
he is. I don't know. To me, he's still playing. It's even within a
It's
friendship.
just,
Go ahead.
yeah.
Go ahead, Keish.
No, no, you finish. You finish.
No, I was gonna say even in a friendship, you can have people playing two sides, and he's
Mm-hmm.
playing two in the middle with these girls. All right, where
Yeah.
y'all want to start?
Oh goodness. There's so much we can get into. Can we get Ashley and Derek out the way?
Yeah, no
This was this
chemistry.
no chemistry. This was incredibly stupid. I'm
Everybody
sorry.
coddle Ashley.
Yes. And I'm like, she was crying about the fact that this man was cleaning. Ever since that man moved in, she was nitpicking about the tiniest of things and then crying at the same time. Like, what are you crying about?
Yeah.
What are you crying about? If it wasn't him, so you're saying that you can't live with roommates, and what happens when you have children?
And she obviously wants to get married.
And I'm like, look, and we all have lived with somebody at some point in our lives. Some people have different living habits. It's a matter about how you adjust to it, but you had to communicate. She just made this man feel like he couldn't live with her. He quietly moved out. And I'm like, and then she was talking about, you put scratches on my refrigerator. It's going to come out of my security deposit. I'm like, you both were living together.
Yeah,
Girl, it's not the end of the world. He was stupid for doing that, but still.
Yeah, she's doing too much.
Yeah, she was really cutting up. And I mean, I kind of agree with what Derek says. Why don't we get a bigger spot if they choose to want to be in the same space? Moving in with her obviously is a problem because he was living with what, friends, roommates, or something.
Yeah, roommates.
Right. And so he moved in with her, and because she has a set way of doing her house, and he's coming in with moose heads and orange chairs and all types of things, it's best for them to come into something together, I would assume. I mean, do y'all agree with what he said? I don't think they have chemistry, but if they're going to want to stay together, they need their own space together, not moving into her space.
It makes the most logical sense. And she's like, no, this is my space.
It was like she was offended.
Right.
She got a quick attitude with him when he made that suggestion. I think the thing that annoyed me with that whole situation is everybody made Derek feel like he did something wrong.
Right.
And he did nothing wrong. Yeah, she was the one overreacting and being ridiculous. Derek did nothing wrong. But then it also felt like the show was trying to throw in this narrative that he hadn't been taking her out because when they met, was it today? Was that today or yesterday?
Yesterday.
When they met, he was like, I've been a jerk of a boyfriend. I haven't been treating you right. I stopped taking you out. And it's like, we didn't see any of these problems before they moved in together. Before they moved in together, they were always happy. And I mean, they had, I feel like, a love scene every time they were together.
Right.
But all of a sudden, he's been a terrible boyfriend. He hasn't been taking her out. He hasn't been treating her right. And I'm like, we didn't see that. So to us, it just looks like Ashley is spoiled brat and being ridiculous, and Derek is being unfairly blamed for their issues and apologizing. I'm like, why is this man apologizing to her?
Right. Go ahead, Bree.
No, I was agreeing. I'm sorry. I was saying right.
No, I mean, Ashley was the one around there acting like a tyrant. I mean, she had left. He came back. He was up in there cleaning in there and tried to cook some stuff. And everything was irritating this girl.
Yeah. She's like, you used the wrong container. We're trying to save the environment. And then I think there was like a couple of episodes ago where she was like, well, me and Naomi, we have our girl meeting here. Like, he doesn't know, he has to learn all of this.
Right.
And that's just a common sense thing. And I'm like, let's say it was Andre. She would still have to deal with what comes with Andre, no matter who you live with.
Right.
You have to be a grown adult and learn how to live with people, especially if her future is getting married and having children. Because children are that's a whole other thing.
I wanted to thump Andre in the middle of his forehead when he said to Ashley, when she was talking about the refrigerator and something else in the house that he moved or did, and he was like, well, if he loves you, then what's important to you should be important to him too.
I hated that. I was like, come on, like, Lord have mercy.
You would have thought this man ran through the house and spread mud and dirt and just trashed her entire apartment and acted like nothing was wrong with what he did, or like he cheated on her, or he called her out of her name. You would have thought he did some of the most heinous stuff to Ashley with the way that Andre was talking to her, the way they were talking to each other about it.
Delmonica, you hit it on the head. Ashley wants Andre. That's why she was soaking up all that time with this man. Andre saying like, oh, I can go meet with him now and see if he can try to come work this out with you. No, it's okay. And he's like, why don't you call him? Well, what if he doesn't answer? So she can talk all day and all night to Andre and wasting a box of tissues for no reason, but she won't call her boyfriend of 2 years.
And that's what I don't get. If that's what it is, maybe she just hasn't realized it yet, but this was your out. Because he packed his stuff up and moved out.
Yep.
But she was happy to have him, or, to make up with him. Because she told him, like, I miss you so much, I'm so sorry, whatever it was that she was saying to him when they were at the restaurant. And I don't know, did that mean that he was moving back in with her, or is he still going to find somewhere else to live because they figured out they can't live together?
They left that kind of open-ended. It could go either which way. But she needs to just grow the hell up first, and before they move together. This was a necessary issue for them to have. I understand there's people, because I saw comments online saying, this is a real issue, this is a struggle for couples, and it's hard to mesh well together. I'm like, it's not that hard. I'm sorry.
Yeah, not with what they were fussing about.
Right.
Like, the man was cleaning. He was cleaning, and she got mad at him.
He was picking up his clothes. He was moving in. He brought his chair. He was moving in. It was an agreement. He didn't just move in without her knowing. They agreed on this. Right. They wanted this.
And then she refused to want to move into someplace bigger.
Right.
I'm like, either you want to live with this man, either you're going to accept what comes with this man, or you guys can get a bigger place where you have your own, space within that house or whatever. Or just be alone, because if you can't live with this man, because he was being nice, he was trying to be understanding, he put like some of like his items away that bothered her, and he was still trying to clean up, because some people just won't care at all. They just leave their stuff where it is. He at least acknowledges that it bothers her, and it still wasn't good enough.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I mean, honestly, to me, Derek and Ashley has no chemistry. They just don't. And on the flip side, Andre wasn't too happy because he wants a relationship with Danny. And Danny is like, let's just keep doing what we're doing and keep it quiet.
Yeah.
And that didn't
You don't like being used.
But I mean, you know what you sign up for. It's almost like people getting into stuff in situationships or being side chicks and side dudes, and y'all sign up for this stuff, and then you trying to turn into a full-fledged relationship. Mm-mm.
Yeah, that, and I think he said that he's not the relationship type. Now you're a relationship type to a woman
Right.
who's emotionally unavailable.
Right. Has she completely
And
gotten
another one who
over?
is completely unavailable in both ways, or should be.
Yeah, I mean,
Who he
is
also does not have
she's
chemistry
still
with.
not over Bill?
Yeah, and
100%.
he knows it. She tells it to his face.
Mm-hmm.
And she throws herself in scenarios just to be around this man.
Yep.
Yeah.
But okay, I don't know where Andre's coming from, but it is what it is. Mari said, do you guys think that if Ashley goes
To be with Andre?
He'll be with Andre, that everyone will find out about him and Danny sleeping together?
Like, because Danny would tell him, or?
I think if the information were to come out, would she want to, I guess, be with Andre? And the thing is, she's with a whole other man. So she can't judge what this man does to whoever he does it with.
Yeah.
I mean, her feelings for Bill would still be there regardless, so I don't think that would change.
Yeah. Well,
I think maybe her feelings would be a little hurt because now he's found somebody else to occupy his time.
Right. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, do you think not Derek, that Andre and Ashley have chemistry?
No.
Mm-mm.
I don't even see the friendship chemistry with them, because to me they feel like two people that just met each other. And I feel like they have, like, every once in a while you'll hear Andre say, "My good friend Ashley," or he'll say, "My good friend," or she'll say, "My good friend," and it's like they're trying to remind the audience that they've been friends for years. And I don't feel that with them. Like, I barely feel that with Naomi and Ashley. So I don't know. But I think I said in the group chat, Ashley's best scenes, I think, have been with Shanice.
That's true.
And
I agree with that.
Maybe her mom. Maybe.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
They need to figure out what to do.
Not even her and Naomi either.
Yeah. They need to figure out.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they need to figure out what they're going to do with that coupling, because there's no chemistry with either of the two men when it comes to Ashley. So, I don't know. It's weird.
And moving her, I don't know if they're going to go through with it or not, but if they go through with putting Ashley and Derek or Andre together, going from Danny and Andre to Ashley and Andre, huge mistake.
It would be like same way with like Billy and Sally on YNR.
Yep.
Yeah, but even that's better than Andre and Ashley.
Wait, Bree. Remember, Keish don't think Sally and Billy is too bad of a coupling. So.
Yeah, they're not terrible. They're definitely not anywhere near as bad as Andre and Ashley would be.
Yeah.
All right.
I agree.
So then we had Jacob starting his investigation, talking to Leslie because of the whole thing that Kat been listening to Super Sleuth podcast. And I'm like, what's wrong with that? Actually, my son listens to stuff like that too.
I do too. I love it.
I mean, when he takes his 6-hour road trips here, he'll put his podcast on and listen to stuff like that. It gets him through the drive.
Yeah.
You know what I love? I love like the police cam and like the 48 hours. Like, there's nothing. What's wrong with that? I didn't like the fact that they got on that girl about that.
Well, she kind of put 2 and 2 together with the bike situation, because it was just way too convenient that Kat got that job the way that she did, and we of course already know why. But she decided she wants to record Leslie to get some sort of a confession. Of course, Leslie is slick as a cat. She tried to throw off the scent onto her own daughter, not knowing at that time she had an alibi. I mean, what do y'all think about Leslie in this whole? That woman is. I mean, again, Trisha Mann Gant or Grant, I think her last name. Grant is an excellent actress.
Mm-hmm.
But she is psychotic.
I mean, look at her at the bottom left.
Mm-hmm.
She literally took the wig off of Nicole and put it on herself. It's the same wig, y'all. Look at that.
It sure is. That's why I did it like that. So y'all can get a full frontal view of both of those wigs. They look like the exact same one.
Oh, goodness. To be honest, this is kind of going the opposite of what I was thinking Leslie was doing, because one moment she's telling Kat that, oh, it was Eva, and in the next breath, she's trying to take the heat off of Eva, and then she's telling Eva that, yeah, I was the one who did it, and then now we have Eva taking up for her mother. So I'm like, the information is, being suspected. Like, what direction are we going in now? But with the previews, I guess Eva's going to try to turn in her mother. That's fine. But I was surprised that she even revealed that information to her daughter.
Well,
and I was wondering
what it, knowing that her daughter wouldn't say anything to make her an accessory after the fact. So she looped her into her mess.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because now that you know, and because of the fact that you were originally working on this plan with me, you gonna be accessory after fact. So hey, we can share a jail cell next to each other. That's exactly what she said. She said basically, so if I'm going down, so are you.
Yeah, poor Eva. Like, I understand that she had her role, but to pin almost unaliving somebody, not once but twice, on her, that girl didn't deserve that.
Mm-hmm.
That's mental torture. That's no different from what Jordan did to Claire, to be honest.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's diabolical work.
It really is. And this is why I honestly, this is not her mother. She says it, I don't believe it. I really don't. Because what mother would do this to their child? Sheila wouldn't do this.
Well,
yes, she would. If it kept her out of trouble, she would do it. Just like she was willing to let Finn die in that alley, so nobody knew about her shooting the two of them.
Okay, well,
she didn't have to go back to jail.
Bree was like, okay.
I was like, well, look.
Hey, listen, that whole alley conversation has been a thing between me and Keish for the last 3 years. So
anything that will keep that woman out of jail, she don't care. She don't care if it's her child, her husband, as long as she don't go to jail. My Guthrie, whoever.
But yeah, tell me about it. Okay. And then the beginning of the week, also we saw Doug catching Joey and Vanessa flirting, and she come clean to him that, yeah, cheating, I sure have. I've been doing lots of cheating.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Keith.
I was going to say, she had mentioned to Nicole before that they have an arrangement.
Well, did it look like he knew about the arrangement?
I think he knew, and they just never spoke of it. They just never sat down and said it to each other. he knew though, and she knew that he knew.
He thought in the back of his mind. Arrangement is like, listen, we ain't sleeping together no more. I'm finna go out here and do me. You can go and do you. As long as we come back to this house and pay all the bills and we straight. He act like he didn't know nothing. Because she put it all out there. Yeah, I was cheating. I've been cheating. And he like, wow.
Well, he said you finally said it out loud.
Yeah, but it wasn't an arrangement. It was all speculation until she confirmed it.
And you know what else that threw me? She was like, "I hope you're sleeping with somebody else." I was like, "Oh," I was like, "Damn."
The only thing he's sleeping with is them coins and that debt he got.
So they both lying to each other about things.
Yeah.
Well, the way he did look today's episode when he came up in there and saw Joey with his wife, and he's like, you know what, I'm gonna let y'all have it. I mean, at this point, he might as well just walk away because they're gonna sleep together next week.
He may as well just come clean to his wife.
Right.
Yeah.
About his debt.
Yeah, but the thing is, she has no. Okay, so the debt that he has is what coming out of his account because he's trying to get Vanessa to do some money laundering. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. So right now, I mean, the way she's like, shoot, screw you, I'm finna hang out with Joey. Well, have at it. Bye.
It was no apologies. She said, "Hey, I've been sleeping with men, several men. So she has been single like a Pringle within her marriage." And he said, "I haven't slept with nobody." I was like, "Oh."
Remember that scene that they did about 3-4 weeks ago when him and her had a scene? They looked like they were really enjoying themselves in that bed.
Yeah, they had a good love scene.
Right.
And then shortly after, she called an escort service. Right. So I'm like, is Stuart Little not, doing his job right? Is he not equipped? Like, why does she feel that she needs to reach out?
Maybe she's a nympho.
That's what she seemed like.
She seemed like a nympho.
It seemed like she doesn't care to sleep with this man at all. Like she said that there's like 2 ships in a night. I think one episode ago. But I'm like, you get busy with your husband, who should know you from your head to your toes after 20-something odd years.
Well, should she get a mattress name? Because who is that? Brooklyn Rayner. It says Vanessa is the queen bee of any mattress.
Yeah, she tops everybody. She's worse. She worse than Audra.
I mean, she's racking up a whole body count. Is it even a mattress? It's probably just a spring.
Girl, you silly. I don't know. Jasmine said Vanessa is Queen Tempur-Pedic with 1,000 count of Egyptian cotton sheets.
Yeah, and Diego wants to sleep and lay right up underneath them sheets.
Man, he kissed Pamela to try to make her jealous.
And that was a very valid point that Danny said. Like, he kissed a single woman just to make a married woman jealous.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm like, what is Vanessa doing to these men? Like, I feel so bad for Stuart Little, and I understand him having a gambling addiction. That's a serious thing. But at this point, get some self-respect, some dignity, and move on with Shanice. Because I think him and Stuart Little and Shanice, they have really good chemistry together. So? Yes, more than him and Vanessa.
Mm-hmm. I'd like to see his buddy Randy and Shanice.
Oh, I could see that. The guy that
Randy needs to be on screen more.
The guy that's trying to help him to stop gambling.
The one that works for Joey.
Right, and Shanice, I could see that. Because she kind of feisty, and he seemed kind of like, yeah, I got you.
I love Shanice. I do too. I love her. I love Vanessa. This woman is messy. And the way that she came after Ted, I'm like, the nerve of you.
The nerve. Audacity. I'm like, girl, if you just got yeah, okay. You gonna sit up there and try to tell him about his cheating.
Mark. She said Vanessa is spreading the butter. She sure is.
Man, that was crazy. Oh man. Okay, so we also had after bonding with Tomas, Eva confronts Leslie, Anita reuniting with her old friend. What did Anita do to these women? Besides, I know she tried to advance her career, but it's a dude involved.
Has to be. Like, I understand it could be a separate issue, kind of like what they were talking about today's episode. And, like, hey, you abandoned me, you left us, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, that has really nothing to do with that woman, but okay. But there has to be a man involved. It's just, and they kind of hinted at something towards the cliffhanger of today's episode. They said that it wasn't, we weren't the only ones who were hurt. Who else was? Yeah. Like, there has to be, like, if she had an affair and it affected like the other bandmates and the husband and the kids or something, I can see that happening. But these women hated her. Like, Tracy was acting at first like, oh, it's so great to see you. And then she really let it all loose. Today's episode, all her jealousy, everything. And I'm like, Anita did something.
Yeah, well, they call her ruthless. But it was something about a guy that wanted her to go solo. And I'm wondering if this so-called guy that she went solo with is the one that Tracy is complaining about.
That was so when the Dante guy, which was their manager, was the one that had her go solo. Because she mentioned something when they were sitting at the table at the restaurant. She said Dante was always trying to pit us against each other, or when she called her beautiful, and she was like, that was something that Dante came up with, like we needed something else to have us at odds or to spark jealousy between us or something like that. And then she said Dante was the one that saw that spark in her that would make him more money. So what it sounds like is their manager pulled her out of the group and basically helped her propel her solo career. That's, to me, that's what sounds like. And yeah, she did reference something else, but to me, it sounds like Tracy is more pissed off about her going solo and leaving them behind, and I guess at some pivotal moment in their career, than she was about something else that happened. And it sounds like Sharon is more pissed off at her about whatever this other mystery thing is that happened. That Anita said that after, what did she say? After that happened, I had to get out of that place, and I couldn't look at you and Sharon, or whatever it was that she said. That's what it sounds like. Sharon is more mad at. Tracy is pissed off because she got left in the dust, career wise.
She was looking at all of Anita's like vases and saying like, oh, you have maids and this and that. Like,
the piano costs more than our apartment building.
So, I mean, the thing is, because Anita said, listen, I had to work for everything I got. And obviously, she had a great music career. But is it safe to say that senators make money too, right?
Yeah, and on top of that, didn't, like, he invested into the community they live in. And it's paid them back 10 times over. So that has nothing. She got married. They built a life together. It is what it is. Like, Tracy can't be mad at that. It's just who she got with.
Which I think that bothers her too, because of that comment that she made when they were all at dinner, when she was like, Vernon, you could have had any one of the three of us that night you left with Tracy. Like, who says that?
She said
Or
that? I
not
missed
Tracy,
I
I
that.
missed
mean
that.
Anita. Not Tracy, Anita.
Mm-hmm.
Tracy said
She's
to Vernon when they were sitting, when they had went out to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Tracy said that was like one of the first things that she said. You know, you could have had any one of the three of us that night. You left with Anita, and then she looked at Anita and said that Sharon got mad about that.
Oh.
That Vernon picked her over, I guess, one of the two of them.
maybe Sharon was ugly.
Oh.
But I can't believe she said, "Oh, Tracy got a mouth."
Yeah. Yeah, she said that, and then when they were at the house, did she say there might have been something else she said at the table that was just kind of she was doing a little bit too much with Vernon, in my opinion. And then when they were at the house the next day, and Vernon said something like, "I hope I'm not interrupting," and Tracy was like, "Oh, never, you're never interrupting," or something like that. And Anita says to her, remember one of the rules of the group was we don't flirt with our sister's man. And Tracy was like, "Oh, I don't remember that rule." Yeah, she was like, "I know you don't remember. You didn't remember back then either, so I need to refresh your memory."
Do we
Damn,
need
I
to
missed a
bring
lot.
Vernon up to the congregation? Like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
so this is a messy sisterhood
Oh,
at
I
that.
see. This is some jealousy and some spite.
Oh, they got secret. They got skeletons. Oh, I cannot wait for Sharon to come and cause a ruckus because eventually this lady's about to come. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like this plot reminds me of Dreamgirls.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yep.
Maury said something about the Supremes. This is kind of what it's given to me. But I'm hoping they do it with a little bit of a twist.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we saw, I know I sent something in the group chat about Victoria Round and how she had to audition, which the audacity with that, Beyond the Gates, you had that woman audition.
Asked her to
Wow.
audition at that. Asked her to. It
Right.
wasn't even that her manager called and requested an audition. They asked her to audition.
And I'm like, her whole resume was on Y&R. Excuse you?
Thank you.
And then don't give her a call one way or the other afterwards, according to that article.
They never called her back. Oh boy, CBS
That's what
got
she said in the
some
article.
real
She said
long.
she's
I just think CBS got some real long issues with that woman.
yeah.
That
She said
network.
she sent in her video like they requested, and she never heard back one way or the other from anybody.
Oh, that's
The
crazy.
disrespect.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
she would have made a great
obviously,
Sharon.
I mean, the rumor mill has it that she ruffled some feathers real bad with CBS. So I don't know. Why would you have that woman call up and then just to say, "Oh, well, we did ask her to audition"? You know,
Yeah.
who knows? Anyway, what about the confrontation between Ted and Leslie
Oh.
in the hotel room?
Oh, I enjoyed it.
What you enjoy about it, Keisha?
I mean, just the general back and forth, the
Mm-hmm.
way he got in her face, um, the nerve of her to sit on what's her daughter's name,
Eva.
Eva's bed, and act like like she was, trying to insinuate something for Ted. But just generally, I
Mm-hmm.
wondered how they were going to have Ted treating her, just because he went and invited her to Eva's little birthday dinner, and it's like that doesn't make any sense. But okay, so I thought maybe they were going to have Ted feeling guilty for what he did all those years ago
Mm-hmm.
and trying to be nice to her. So I'm glad that they have Ted kind of giving her that smoke, and he's not trying to be a peacemaker or trying to get people to accept her or apologizing to her.
Mm-hmm.
So I enjoyed their little back and forth, and
My question is, why was
Snapped at
she?
her and called her crazy.
Why did she wanted to? I thought maybe she was gonna stick around in Eva's room to plant something, but she was taking things.
Yeah, I thought that was.
I didn't understand why you taking robes and
She a broke mooch.
not the 50,000, and she just got $50,000.
She wasted it all. She even said that when she was in the office of Bill, and Bill already sensed that she was broke again.
What in the world did she waste 50 grand on in a matter of a couple of weeks?
The dress.
So she just an idiot then.
Yeah, yes. Exactly. But yeah, she come back in there just to crack that door and sneak up in there, just like she going shopping or something.
Yeah, I thought she was gonna plant something in her room too.
Right, that part didn't make sense to me. I'm like, you got this girl taking stuff because she broke.
I guess that was just a way for them to force an interaction between her and Ted.
Right, for her to stick around knowing Ted was gonna show up. How y'all liking the new Ted?
I like the new Ted. In my opinion, I think his acting choices they're more my speed than what the previous Ted was.
Okay. I will say, I mean, he's not a bad actor because I've seen him on other movies and TV shows in the past. So I'm kind of familiar with this guy. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't too hard of a switch for me, even though I wouldn't mind having Maurice back. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't like, who did we have? I'm trying to think of somebody we had to adjust to, really adjust to, you know, where it's like, how they gonna fit in? You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I know, Bree.
Look, I'm trying, y'all. And here's the thing. I actually think Keith is a talented actor. He's actually has some pretty decent scenes. He is a very handsome man. I'm going to give this man his flowers, absolutely. Mm-hmm. But what not ruins it, I would say there's a huge difference between Maurice, who played Ted, and Keith, who plays Ted, when it comes to interaction with Leslie. Like, I feel like when Keith and Trisha, I understand they have to start learning to gel together. Mm-hmm. That's, I feel like it's okay, but Maurice and Trisha, like, you feel that tension on the screen. Yeah. Like, when they were at the apartment, the way that he came, the interaction they had, there was this fiery tension. Like, even when she was fantasizing about kissing this man, you can just tell they would tear up the screen.
Yeah, they got chemistry. Maurice and Trisha has chemistry on screen, and if just say he did stick around, because eventually, you know how with soaps, they usually circle back to, I don't know, even if it's a one night stand. Them two in a love scene would have been insane. Now I don't advise it because the girl is cuckoo for Cocoa Pops, but yeah,
maybe she can get it in a fan. Well, I guess it's not with the old Ted, but
she need a Deacon Sharp type, just like Sheila got somebody to, more her speed. I don't know. Maybe she should have hooked up with Joey.
So even in the group chat, well, not the group chat, the live chat, they're kind of mixed about
Ted.
The Ted, like the OG Ted and the Ted 2.0. Mm-hmm. Like, I see a lot of mixed responses, but like I said, I don't mind Ted 2.0. But I think the thing with Leslie is the key thing for me when it comes to transition. The way that Maurice and Trisha, their interactions, it was just sexy. Even when they first interacted at the hospital, she was Sherry Carter. There was just something about that Keith, the way that she said Teddy, the way that he was trying to handle her. It was just something about that. And it was eventually something that's going to boil over. And I was just here for that wave. And I just don't see yet with
Mm-hmm.
Keith and Trisha, but I know that's something that's got to take time. But that's just
Mm-hmm.
where I stand with that.
What about her interaction with Mona? Mona wasn't playing with
I
Leslie.
love Mona. Love her.
Me too.
And I like the fact that Mona is um I don't know, what do you a background character or a side character, an occasional character on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Um and they allowed her to confront Leslie or Dana, whatever her name is.
Mm-hmm.
Um and that's something that we probably would never have seen on one of the other
And soaps,
soaps.
exactly.
They would have completely skipped over that confrontation. We probably wouldn't have even gotten a POV from Mona had this been one of the other soaps. And not only did they let her confront her, um, we got a second scene with her, and they let Mona say what a lot of the viewers have been saying over all these months is, why is Leslie so mad at Nicole, who has no clue she exists. She doesn't know about what happened between her and Ted. She hasn't done anything to her. And yet her whole focus has been on humiliating her in front of
Because
her
she
family
wants
and
to be
friends.
her. She wants.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. What she
And
call
it's
her
So
Sona.
we've been saying, yeah, but we've been saying that, but they actually let the character
Play it out.
say it to her.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that we rarely get on soaps, on at least on CBS soaps anyway. Like, we don't get the common sense, the questions that people should be asking the other
Right. I
characters.
said that last week. Yep.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I love about this show. That is like probably one of the first things that somebody should have said to her when this came out was, "What are you so mad at Nicole for, who did nothing to you?" And they allowed that to happen. So I love that interaction between them this week.
and this is the part that angered me. Well, not angered me. This made me mad about Ted. You told this woman you loved her.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I get
Just to
confused about what their relationship was, because when he first told Andre, he said it was a one night stand. That was it.
Yeah, he said
And
that
then
to Vanessa too.
yeah,
exactly after it came out, though, we found out, like Bree said, he told her he loved her. It must have been over a matter of weeks or maybe months, because he was taking Martin into the diner where she
yeah,
worked at.
Mm-hmm.
But then today, he, like you said, he told Vanessa this wasn't an ongoing affair.
Right.
So what was it? Was
right.
Yeah.
it a one night stand, or had you been messing with her for months? Like, how long did this last?
And this might be a writer's flaw,
Right.
but especially when they transition between the two Teds, because this man
Mm-hmm.
clearly said, "I said I love you" to, I guess take the guilt away from him cheating on his wife, which is, once again, that in itself doesn't make any sense. I mean, you don't love your side chick, don't love the mistress.
Right.
She's just extra.
Mm-hmm.
Not condoning it, y'all. Let me say that,
Mm-hmm.
but now you're telling this crazy lady thinks that you love her,
Mm-hmm.
and that you chose Nicole over her. And it starts what comes out of this man's mouth. And then he had all these like trying to keep it quiet, trying to get Bill involved, all these little itty bitty things. And then you wonder why she's acting the way she is.
Right.
Granted, she's just crazy in general.
Right.
But I'm like, you told this crazy lady you loved her.
Yeah.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
this is the driving force for why she did a lot of the things to your family, to Laura, to Mona, all the other people involved.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we gotta now talk about, because I know it's getting close to 11 o'clock on the East Coast. Oh yeah, and both of y'all on the East Coast. On the Eastern Time Zone, I should say. Chelsea. So Chelsea was hoping to be involved. Was that girl named Veronica?
I can't remember her name.
I forgot already.
Okay, I forgot that girl name.
The married lady.
The married, yeah, the three. You know, they got a threesome going on.
Oh.
She thought that maybe this girl wanted to see her on the side, and pretty much the girl was like, "Listen, I'm married. This was just a little some extra. I don't want you, you know, I ain't trying to hurt you and whatnot, but I ain't trying to be in a separate relationship with you." And she took offense to that. And I'm like, Chelsea, you came into a situation with a married couple.
Mm-hmm.
What makes you think that you were going to pull the, you know, one person in that whole relationship out and say, hey, have a whole separate relationship with me? How is that going to work?
Because she's young and think that, you know, everything is a la carte for her. She can kind of customize however she wants to go about relationships. And that lady was very clear. Hey, that's my partner. Like, I've already decided. Everything else was extra. And it was her own fault for catching feelings. And she even told her mom, like, I've been with other couples. So
yeah, she did a coming out thing with her mom.
Yeah. And I'm like, so you understand your role within the threesome situation. Why would you think it's any different? Because you yourself decided to catch feelings.
Yeah, but she took, I guess, you know, I didn't understand. Somebody help me understand. Maybe I missed something because I saw it after the fact because I was busy with other stuff. But people were talking about it online. There were photos flying around with the whole thing with Danny and what's her name? The girl with the red hair.
Pamela.
Pamela. What happened? She was feeling bad for Pamela, and that's why she kissed her.
Because of Diego. And I'm like, Diego is not even. He's at the bottom of my totem pole. In all honesty, no shade to the actor, but Danny was like, "You're a beautiful, vibrant woman. You shouldn't have to be worried about a guy like Diego," and blah 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 blah. And then she just kissed her, and it's supposed to make her feel better.
Okay, because then that upset Chelsea, who Chelsea came over there talking about, you did all this just to show up for your father. I mean, they didn't even know that Bill and Haley and even Chelsea was even there. But they made it look like this was a big show for Bill, and he had his 2 cents. Chelsea got mad saying, hey, don't be playing with stuff like that because they are real people, and that's how she decided, you know, to express that she was bisexual with her mom, you know. But I don't know. I don't know if that was the segue to lead into that conversation. Because why did this have to be made about Bill?
Bill and Haley was just being their usual annoying selves, thinking everything is about him. Because really, all he had to do was just walk the other direction. But nope, he chose to go over and insert himself in this situation and assume that Danny did that for his benefit and make a scene.
Yeah. And Haley egging it on. She's the same girl who said, like, I want you to have nothing to do with the Duprees. But you want him to go over, or he made a choice to go over there to where Danny was at and say, like, oh, you did this, you know, to make me jealous. You are not that special, sir.
They also made a choice to go into the Dupree's country club that they own.
Right.
Yeah.
They walked in the door and both rolled their eyes and huffing and puffing because Danny was there. And it's like,
he was like, I would like to not run into the Duprees there. Then don't be there.
Right.
Right. You are literally in their country club that they own. Do you expect them not to be there?
I guess here's my issue. When they were in the middle of a very intimate conversation, Bill tried to pull Chelsea out of it.
And I'm glad Chelsea checked him.
Right. He was like, look, this is a mommy-daughter moment. Well, you know, there are times even after you talk to your mother, you come talk to me. Dude, just take a seat.
Go away. Yeah.
Go to your child bride, please.
He was trying. He thought he was trying to. He thought he was being Chelsea's hero because he figured Danny had upset her.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go rescue my daughter. Because what did Haley say? Maybe they're tired of Danny's nonsense, just like we are. Maybe they finally see her for who she is, or whatever it was that Haley said to him, and he thought he was going over there to do something. I'm so glad that Danny, or not Danny, that Chelsea checked him.
Yeah, like dude, this is a moment me and my mom is having a conversation. You can see your way out. Your girlfriend, your wife is over there.
Right.
So,
Double D mosquito. I love that.
Double D mosquito. I thought about that. I'm like, Lord, that's that y'all tripping.
She said Bill and Double D mosquito are so annoying, thinking everything's about Bill. She's gonna unalive him. Yeah. Just them as a couple really serve no purpose except for like the first 2 or 3 weeks of the series starting. Because they've just been kind of in the background, and I feel like they choose to loop themselves within the Dupree world to make themselves important or feel interesting.
I agree.
As much as they don't want to be bothered with them, they are always around somehow. Always talking about them.
I agree.
Just like when after her and Bill had finished their little session, was that last week? And the first thing Bill says was something about how I'm not married to Danny anymore, but I'm so much happier with you, or whatever it was that he said to her. And it's like, why is Danny the first thing on your mind?
Right.
After you just got finished doing the do with your wife.
Right.
This is a man who's circled around several different women, even with Danny. There's no telling who he's with now that he's with Haley.
Yeah.
Because remember that lady at the office?
Right. And
his secretary was trying to keep that secret.
According to them spoilers, she's supposed to be pregnant next week? Yeah, we'll see how that go. And then last but not least, Tomas, and we kind of touched on it a little bit, but this man, two in the middle, he kissing on Kat, talking about how he want to be more, and he liked the fact that she's not out there like that, and he want to be able to date her and get to know her and stuff. But then you sitting holding hands with Eva again.
He is going to give attention to who gives attention to him. He was salty about the fact that Kat was so focused on her true crime story and versus going out to dinner with him, which, like we were saying, he's not committed to anybody. He can give his time to whoever he wants. But he knows these are two sisters, and he knows they have little to no relationship at all. It's like they're pretty much enemies, and he's not helping the issue either.
He constantly defends Eva to Kat too.
Yeah, that's another thing. Oh, maybe she's
and
not
very
bad,
dismissive.
And maybe she's hurting, and maybe she's this. Yeah, go ahead, Keish.
Yeah, very dismissive of Kat's feelings, her valid feelings. Just basically just to defend Eva.
Yeah. And then they have a bonding moment with each other about their fathers or their mom, or her mom and his father. Did y'all remember that this week?
Yeah.
Eva
and I gotta that scene with those two. I'm talking about Eva and Tomas. They definitely have some chemistry.
I think he does have more chemistry with Eva, though. The girl that plays Eva and this guy definitely has on-screen chemistry than Kat.
Yeah.
But the way that he sat there and basically told Eva about his conversation with Kat, as far as the recording with Leslie and the whole accusation about running, I can't remember the girl's name, the other assistant running her off the road.
Laura.
Why would you even bring that up to Eva or to Eva?
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. He playing two in the middle.
And they're gonna sit there and say, "Oh, I thought you knew." Who was gonna tell her? You think Kat wouldn't tell her? Like, just learn to keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, this is gonna get real ugly.
But and like he's an attorney, you would think of all things, like he would keep that private, or at least some form of discretion. He's just sharing this information, which is speculation at this point. That he said it was.
Girl,
he definitely being messy.
He is messy.
Mm-hmm. Because he also is always the one inviting Eva, initiating conversation, inviting her to sit down with him, and doing all this extra stuff. And I think that was you, Brie, in the chat that said something like even Eva has said to him, like, this isn't a good idea. Kat hates me, and he's like, oh no, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so yeah, I have nothing for Tomas. Eva can have him because I want him away from Kat.
Yeah, I agree with that because there's no way that. And the thing is, he didn't even want to hear what was on the tape. He don't even know what's even on the tape. But you're gonna tell Eva, oh, she's your sister's taking you evidence over to the police, try to get you arrested, and blah blah blah. I'm like, you're a messy lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, there's a whole discovery process, and if you didn't care, you don't believe what was said, then I mean, he could stay out of it if he wants to. He's choosing not to.
Exactly. He invite himself in the middle of this, like you say. Eva said, I don't think Kat is gonna like this. Oh no, it's fine. Okay, you know what, dude? Yeah. And the thing is, Kat has already caught him, but for whatever reason, he finessed, and that's how he ended up getting that kiss too. So, poor Kat.
Yeah, poor girl.
And then, before we kind of get to the segments, that girl had a wig a wig for everything going on. I mean, Leslie is trying to be Nicole 2.0.
Oh my gosh. That whole little scene was so good.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say she gave us classic soap opera antagonist, villain, whatever you want to call her. Like, well, she's been giving it the entire time, but that scene today it was funny. It was like this. Trisha Mann Grant she is so good in this role.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous. Yes. Like, this is what YNR and Bold tried to do with Jordan and Sheila that they failed at, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the way they have written Leslie it's been perfect.
Yeah, she her perfect word is for her is diabolical work.
Yeah. Yes. Like, they don't have her going, she's not going overboard. Like, I know she ran Laura off the road, but if she doesn't get caught for it, it makes sense because, like Jacob said, there's no physical evidence.
Well, so week coming up, there's something about them finding a clue either Thursday or Friday.
Well,
a compelling one at that.
It's not as ridiculous as having somebody confess to double homicide and then just letting them out of jail.
Yeah.
With no real logical, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. They've just done it so well with her.
Yeah, she rocking out. I'm wondering, it's going to be a contender when it comes to Carla Mosley and Trisha Mann Grant with an Emmy type nomination or something. It's gonna be interesting to see how that
They're
go.
going to have a lot of nominations over on Beyond the Gates. There's no question.
Yeah, they better.
The girl playing Eva, also talented.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what's the name of the man who plays Joey? John Lindstorm.
Mm-hmm.
He talented. The guy who plays Martin, Smitty. There's just a lot of people who are just really giving it.
The writing team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without question.
And by the way, I gotta say congratulations to Beyond the Gates because they were awarded a second season.
Oh yeah.
So obviously
Very
they
about
are
that.
a hit. They are hitting their numbers for the slot, that the talk left behind for the past decade. I think the talk came out around 2007. I think it was. So they have been around a long time, and um I think what time GH come on, y'all? Is it
The same? I believe the
That's
same
what I
time.
thought. They're giving GH a little competition. So it's interesting that they're doing well. Eyeballs are on the screen. People are excited. People are talking. There's multiple Beyond the Gates groups on Facebook now, and everybody's having conversations about the daily episodes and things like that. So it's a great thing that they took off, and it's caught on, and folks are watching, and they got another season coming up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So exciting stuff. They're doing good things over there. We're gonna miss Maurice, but I guess Keith. Hopefully, everybody will begin to enjoy him being on the screen. So. All right, we got to do our segments. I flipped the script. Who's taking several seats? Star of the week, pickle of the week, and the Simp Olympics. So, for YNR, what script are you flipping this week?
I would have had Amanda not address the Winters at all.
Okay. Yeah, I don't blame you on that. I wish she had a clap back at them a little, and come from a place like Keish said, with not relating to the whole cheating incident.
Yep.
She could have found. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Keish.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's what my flip was gonna be. Her not referencing anything that had to do with the cheating incident, and just basically coming back at them with the way that they were talking to her. Like when Devon was demanding her set up a meeting, and I'm not taking no for an answer. Like, I wish she would have told him, "You're not my boss. I don't know who you talking to, but I'm not doing that."
Right. Yep. Shut her.
She
and
gave
Abby
them
down.
way too much.
Yes,
Yeah.
shut him and Abby down. And the same thing,
Yep.
obviously that was the previous week, but she should have shut down Nate and Lily as well when they were at society. It's like, listen, get over
Billy too.
yourself. Billy too. They needed her to come back strong and stand by her boundaries. Like, look, I don't care who you talking to. You might not know. Y'all all asking for meetings with this dude. If he want to talk to you, he gonna talk to you. I'm not gonna force anything.
Right.
All right. Everybody got theirs in. I think Bree, you got yours in, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What about bold flip?
For bold, I would flip Hope apologizing first, and then Steffy offering the job back.
Yeah. I got you. What you got, Keish?
My flip would be Steffi not even offering her the job at all.
Oh, I heard that. And I think my flip would have been Carter saying, you need to be sure about your feelings for Liam. I understand you might have said this because you want me to think, oh, Liam is dying. But your words and you having a future with him doesn't jive with the fact that you want to be with me. So you need to get some clarity, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right, and then BTG.
I know we didn't really touch on this, but I would have liked for Martin to respect his spouse and actually have the conversation, and versus, trying to avoid it and this, completely disregarding Smitty's feelings.
Okay. What about you, Keish?
A BTG flip. I would have had, instead of, I hated the way Danny kept looking over at Bill and Haley when they were at the country club.
Mm-hmm.
I hate the way that she gives them attention. So my flip would have been her completely blocking them out, ignoring them, and just walking out of the restaurant after her and Chelsea were done talking.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mine would have just been Ashley and Derek just in this thing because they're just boring together. Like, look, and I agree with one of you or both of you said this about the fact that they made him look like the bad guy when she was the one that was acting like a whole tyrant.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and he said up there, I'm sorry, I didn't treat you right, I didn't take you on no dates, and blah, blah, blah. No, she needs to apologize for acting like a crazy person in that house.
Right.
Okay, and now, should we get all the stadium seats ready? We're going to have an audacity section.
Everybody on Y&R.
Except Damien, because, Damien, he goes in another category.
Yeah, he sure does.
He go in another whole nother category. But yeah,
there's so many.
There's so many.
The Winters.
Right. Go ahead, Bree.
Yeah, the Winters, audacity. Sharon, the audacity. Billy, sadly, the audacity. Phyllis, the audacity. Nikki, the audacity.
And definitely Victor, who had the nerve to say what he's supposed to do with family, which is stick with his family and not his own. Audacity.
And Claire. Let's not forget about Claire.
Girl, she's annoying.
So that's half the cast. It's not majority.
That whole week, they should have said the young and the audacity.
Yeah.
All right, bold seats.
I'm gonna give I'll give Brooke a seat.
Yep, I agree with that.
I'm gonna give Katie.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Oh yes.
Oh, good girl.
All three of them can have seats.
Who? Hope, Brooke, and Katie?
Katie, Brooke, and Taylor.
Oh, Taylor. Okay.
Yeah, because why are you going in there reminding Brooke again that Rich picked you? Like, girl, just go find your man and let it go.
Right.
You don't need to remind her every 5 minutes that you and Rich are together.
Right.
It just shows her insecurity.
Exactly. I'm going to give Steffy a seat. Leave Liam alone and let him have some time to figure out this treatment. He the one that's going to have chemicals running through his veins.
Well, Liam needs to move out of that house then.
Yes.
Let's stop inviting her to their appointments.
Well, he should move back in with his daddy. That's where he needs to move.
I don't understand why Bill doesn't know yet.
Yeah, that don't make no sense to me.
Carter knows. Carter and Liam don't even have a relationship.
Right.
Taylor knows.
Right.
Eventually Brooke is gonna know.
Yeah, this is stupid.
Yeah, his dad should know. In that big old house, Luna's gone. You have plenty of room instead of being stuck up in that tower that's up in Steffi's Cliff House. Let me see. Okay, and then who's taking seats on BTG? Tomas.
Yeah.
Tomas, Haley.
Tomas for sure. Haley and Bill.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree with that one.
And Ashley.
Yeah, Ashley can take a seat too.
Oh, yes.
Leave that man alone. That man up in there cooking and cleaning and you mad.
And you
Over.
know what? Andre can have a seat as well for coddling Ashley the way he did through that whole conversation.
Okay.
And Jacob.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
And his wife may as well sit next to him because she was doing the same thing.
With Derek.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so that's a third of the cast there.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I'm kind of on the edge of putting Tracy in the seat because my thing is, you. I know some people get more breaks than other folks, but you jealous of this woman's lifestyle, and we don't know the full extent because obviously there's more pieces to it. But what is she supposed to feel guilty about the life that she built with her husband and her family?
Mm-mm. Not at all. It just is what it is. But she should get a seat for how she was talking in Anita's house to Vernon.
Yeah.
Not Trish, like Keish was saying, just the fact that she was saying that you could have picked any one of us. What does that to do with the price of tea in China?
Right.
Nothing.
Especially all these years later.
Right.
You
They
clearly
like
feeling some type
70
of way to
years
bring that
old.
up.
And the reason that I know, because the thing is, they kept referencing Cabrini Green back in the day, and I'm from Chicagoland area. I know exactly where it was. Of course, those projects are long gone, and now the areas are gentrified. But Cabrini Green and some of the other projects in the city of Chicago were really huge back in the 70s. And so I think the character of Vernon and Anita are 70 years old, which would have put them in their 20s because my parents are in their 70s. They were in their 20s in the 1970s. So, I'm like, yeah, it was a hard place for some folks to deal with and come out of. The TV show Good Times was based on Cabrini Green as well. But she chose to pull herself out of that environment. She also got married, and the guy chose her. Out of the three of them, he chose Anita to build a legacy with. How you gonna get mad at her for choosing to take that route?
Exactly. That's done and over with. They got kids, grandkids, great grandkids.
Right, that's been 50 years ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, she can take a seat in my book. It's like, girl, please. You can't be mad that she decided to create a better life for herself and with her husband, and now got all these kids and a whole country club and a piano that's the cost of a apartment building.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. She can definitely take a seat.
All right. Star of the week. YNR.
Michelle Morgan.
Yep. I was going to say the same thing. Even though I wish they gave her a little bit more meat on the bone when it comes to standing up to everybody.
Yeah.
I was gonna say not Alec Ball,
Christian
but Michael
LeBlanc.
The actor who plays Michael Ball.
Christian LeBlanc.
Christian LeBlanc. Sorry about that. Yes, I thought that he knocked it out this week, and turning a new leaf for Michael. That was a stretch. That takes some good acting.
Let's hope it actually lasts this time.
Yeah.
2 months.
Bree said 2 months. She got a countdown clock. Okay. Start of the week on Bold. Oh no. Do we have
that patch on the back of Lynn's head?
Oh my God. I mean, and it looked like they tried to, because they stuck it on the back of Scott Clifton's hair, obviously not to damage his hair, because they got to take it off, because, but it was like it was just hanging there by a thread or something. I don't know. It was like
Jackie's pregnant belly.
Yeah. We can't find nobody. Not really, huh?
No. I can't think of.
Yeah, Jasmine Williams in the chat says that no stars on Bold. I don't know. It
Yeah.
just was. It was boring. It was long and ongoing. This whole thing with Liam. So.
Yeah, there really wasn't anything that happened.
Dr. Buckingham.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
You throw her a
We'll take
bone.
that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Star of the week on the BTG, and this is probably unanimous.
Trisha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The girl
Oh my
she's
goodness.
playing the mess out of that role.
Yeah, Amber did well too, though.
Yeah, Amber did good too.
Yes.
Can we do both?
I gotta say, she got something in common with Heather Thomas and Chelsea from The Young and the Restless. Amber
Both the
can
tears.
cry on cue.
Yes.
She ain't got to struggle like Tanner.
And the two of them, her and Trisha, going back and forth with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like their I guess rivalry type chemistry is really good, because when she got her face and told her Ted hates her, it was like, oh wow. Mm-hmm. I don't think we've seen her get that nasty with her mom yet.
Mm-hmm. But just the fact that Amber, and she just had a birthday about a week or so ago. The fact that girl can cry on cue, it's just, she's a great actress.
Yeah, she is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, both her, but Trisha, for me, she gave every last one of these personalities a clear distinction, a wig, everything. She knew who all of them were.
Could you imagine if her and Jordan teamed up?
She would be running that whole group. If it was Sheila, Jordan, and her, she would be running.
Throw baby Sheila in there too. Throw Luna in there too.
Oh, look, she would have to get Luna together. Luna goes off on a tangent. She gonna end up like Laura in the hospital.
Even without her being a murderer, or I'm sorry if I can't say that word, but even without her being that, she surpasses all of them for me.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that Leslie is smart enough and slick enough to outsmart Victor?
Outsmart Victor?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, without question.
Yeah, I think she would be the one person that could outsmart Victor.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. She's definitely gonna work a lot of people's nerves. And it'll be such good entertainment. Ooh. I can see her
get under Lily and Devon's skin.
Oh, they wouldn't be able to take her.
Absolutely,
I would enjoy every minute of it.
Because the thing, Trisha is a beautiful woman. You can put her with a lot of the different guys for love scenes, but just the banter back and forth. Could you imagine?
I could see her being
Leslie
friends
and Phyllis.
with Phyllis, exactly. Her and Phyllis would be.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, that would be a hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be watching every bit of that.
I wonder how she would be on Y&R. She would wreak havoc. She could definitely outplay Audra.
Yes, she could. And there we go. Give Damien to her.
Oh. No, she might.
Look, you need a love interest. You don't got many options.
What'd you say?
So he needs a love interest. He don't got many options.
Yeah. All right, we got to do Pickle. Y&R.
Oh, Shawnice and Damien. Y&R. Give Devon the Pickle.
I'm going to give mine to Abby. Abby got on my nerves. You all up in that woman's face about something. Girl, you need to go way across the room after everything.
They can just take it as a married couple.
Yeah, there we go. See?
A Pickle on Bold.
Katie.
Oh God, yeah.
Her that scene bugged. She just bugged me. That whole thing between her and Ridge, telling Ridge how he feels. Like,
It's
girl, go sit
annoying.
down somewhere.
Yeah, I'm gonna give Brooke a pickle too because she's just like, I'm not gonna give up on him. Girl, after everything that just happened in the past 3 months.
I'm gonna give mine to Ridge with all these looks and these side expressions.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever he hugs Taylor and he just talking out the side of his neck 1 minute, I'm like, just make up your mind, sir. After
Yeah.
30 something years.
Right. Gosh, how long can this go on, Belle? Good grief.
Right.
I mean, maybe we'll get a break from it when Jack Wagner come along. We'll see.
Yeah.
And then BTG. I'm gonna give mine to Bill and Haley. They get on my nerves.
I'm giving mine to Moss.
Yeah.
Mine is from Martin. Bronze.
Mm-hmm.
We can put Jacob and Andre for silver.
Really? On for who? You talking about the in the middle of this Derek and Ashley thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
they could have left it alone.
Okay.
Especially with Jacob being a married man. That yeah, he can miss me with that. But gold and platinum for me will probably be Carter.
You giving him both gold and platinum?
Yeah, for for all his stupidity.
Yeah. Okay. I
Or
agree.
maybe gold for Brooke or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I agree. What you think, Keish?
Andre was my number one pick. He got on
Really?
my nerves. Yeah, that whole Ashley Derek confrontation and him just crawling up her butt.
Mm-hmm.
That just annoyed me so much.
Yeah.
He didn't even know the whole story, and he's sitting here talking about he needs to apologize, and if he loves you, then he'll care about like. Shut up.
For real.
Mm-hmm. But let me ask you a
That's why Danny
question.
don't want him.
Would you put Leslie as one? Because she's doing any and everything to get to Ted.
Mm-hmm.
Would she fit in one of those categories or no?
I can't see it. She just demonetized. She
Oh,
she like yeah.
you've been
I mean,
demonetized for how old is Eva? 20 years, 30 years,
this woman was married to a whole other man
and you still
and
thinking
reverted
about
back to
Ted?
Taylor.
Still circle back around. Almost 30 years later.
Right.
I mean, enough to put on a snatch Nicole's wig up off of her and put it on herself in hopes to try to attract Ted. Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Wow. Yeah, that whole thing is. That's what I'm saying. She willing to do just about anything, even to mimic his wife to be with him. So,
Yeah. Oh no. Okay, guys.
what happened?
It was starting to kind of. It's about to kick them out.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? We're at the end of the show anyway. All right, you guys, we're going to end it right there. I don't want you guys to get knocked off. I don't know why it's tweaking. I don't see any issues. It's all green on my side. I hope you enjoyed the show on this Friday evening. We were able to get Keish back in here. I know we've been doing it on Sunday. And of course, me and Bree have been holding it down up until that point. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you are following the other platforms. And then I think Bree did put the other two, the Wide and Unfiltered and the Shade and the Beautiful out there. So you can check those out as well. And if we don't have anything else, we will let you guys begin your holiday weekend. Have a safe one. I know it's a Memorial Day weekend, so there are probably some of you all that are maybe visiting loved ones that has been lost. And so, our well wishes go out to all of you on this long weekend. All right, y'all got anything else?
Oh, man, all set.
It was fun.
It was fun, and Delmonica said they overloaded. I'm glad to hear it. You got enough content today. All right, until next time, we will see you guys later. Bye, Soapies.
Bye.
Have a good weekend.